Hey, by the way, Chris Hansen, I hope that I'm nailing the right Chris Hansen. Chris, I need for you to, as soon as you see somebody imitating you, and I'm not sure if we got you ready. I'm thinking it wasn't you, though. Anyway, come in and identify the imposter, all right? Say something that makes me know some of the things that Chris Hansen says. I don't remember you being in love with Young Montana, and I sure as hell don't remember you liking Tribe and supporting his madness. And you used to be a 49er fan until Tribe told you different? That doesn't sound like you. Okay, if it is, okay, but I need to know. I still don't know. All right? It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we'll try to do our best to keep some of the most irritating trolls out. Yeah, we'll do our best. All right? And I'll tell you trolls again. If I catch you messing with Chris, I'm sorry. If I catch you messing with Sharice or Nikita, I won't hesitate to bounce you. I'm telling you right now. Anything like what Tribe said before you got thrown out will be dealt with extreme prejudice. Okay, fam, here we go. Let's make this call right now. Best of the best. You see those guys in the thumbnail? They were all drafted. NFL Draft 2024, the Shanahan Lynch regime, draft success and established standard. Well, I'll talk about that tonight. I want to get your feeling on that. But looking back on the years since the Shanahan Lynch duo took over managing the Niners, we've expected nothing but the best. We've gotten to the point we've gotten spoiled. If we can't accept failure at all in any form anymore, which is what we should do, but still, you know. From the time the process was defined by the duo as brick by brick, the Santa Clara constructed red and gold mansion has glistened for the most part. But we need perfection. All right, you've already built that house. And I don't argue with people anymore about getting mad about failures because, you got to stop failing. The window's only open for so long. You can't continue to come up short in the big stage. However, the organization has fallen short, as I say, of the ultimate goal of putting the elusive sixth Lombardi in the trophy case to be truly considered as one of the very few standout elite franchises in the NFL. Boston, New England, Pittsburgh, now you got Dallas you have to mention Dallas, right? And also us. There are 6 trophies between the Steelers and the Patriots, 5 Dallas, 5 San Francisco. Did I leave anybody out? Feels like it. Anyway, tonight after going on the 49ers draft history under GM John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, going to the phones for your evaluation, appreciation, or disappointments of the past 6 years and what to expect of draft 2024. Tony opened up my eyes to some things with that draft. I keep thinking the 49ers are going to package up everything they've got and just move up as high as they can to get the best player they can find. That's not the way they think, actually. They never do. We've thought the 49ers should have done that before. And they went away with everything but what the consensus might have been amongst the fan base. So, probably not. In fact, Tony might be right on target. They may grab as many players as they can to see if they have anything and then get rid of an expensive ball player. They do that. All right. Fam, here's some quick observations we're going to make right here from the current regime's draft history. Other than George Kittle, 2017 was a disaster. DJ Jones was not bad. Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster were first-round fails. Keller Witherspoon and C.J. Beathard weren't terrible, but they shouldn't have been taken in the third round, which is another thing. Third round has been a disaster. Joe Williams, fail. Should have never been drafted at all. There were issues coming in with him. And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they did learn from that. If a guy has skeletons, don't draft him. They're going to come back to bite you in the butt. I feel bad for Joe Williams. His sister just died from something. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what it was. But he was still in a dark place. You don't bring him in there when he's got that kind of emotional strain going on. You may think you want to help him, but it was a bad move. He hasn't been back in the league since, right? 2018 produced some starters in Mike Blaginci, Fred Warner, and DJ Reed. But Warner's the only player the 49ers drafted in 2018 who remains with the team. What does that tell you? Dante Pettis, fail. A waste of a pick. And I put him in my mock draft because the fact I seen him what he was doing in Washington. What they say he was? The greatest return man in NC2A history. Get him in here. Shh. 2019 produced the best class since the arrival of Shanahan Lynch. Talk about big ticket headliners. Good God. Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Dre Greenlaw. And who could forget fans losing their minds over drafting a punter in round 4? You know what? I remember people were just livid about that. I like Mitch Wisnowski. I know. But what if somebody would have picked up Mitch in the next round? The 49ers do this a lot. They do preventative pickups. Dante Pettis. Somebody gave 49ers, word got back into the boardroom or the green room. Listen, the Cardinals I think it was the Cardinals? Somebody was threatening to come and get Dante Pettis. I don't think the 49ers were going to get him that high. They fooled us. They sucker punched us. See, that's what you do in the draft. Nothing's off limits. You can lie. They didn't want Dante Pettis. Everybody knew about Dante Pettis except for our guys. Oh, and you think that Mitch Wisnowski thing was good. Didn't bother the organization at all, fam. They went right ahead a few years later. A lot of it's still hot about Jake Moody. You know what? It's like Tony pointed out earlier, still, you know what? Kickers are not something you should be, don't be getting emotionally trapped into that. Kickers are going to break your heart no matter what. The best kickers in the league. There's 2 or 3 that are going to the Hall of Fame and going to go down in history's greatest kickers of all time. We know who they are. But most kickers are going to hurt your feelings at some point. It cannot be, boy, I'm done getting mad at Jake Moody. Every time a kicker walks out there, if it's not Robbie Gould, oh, Jesus Christ. That's get ready for that. It's going to happen, you know. So, but you know, most of the time Jake Moody was consistent. We have to give it to him. He wasn't bad. He was okay. 2020 was not a bad draft. Javon Kinlaw was mostly a disappointment, though, but some key players emerged from that draft, including Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, one of my favorite guys, and Colton McKivitz. And fam, I mentioned Colton McKivitz because we haven't given him time. It's 2024. He hasn't played much. I think he got put out for a while, right? He came back. We probably need to, you know what? 2020 was an interesting draft, too. On one hand, Niners had a major swing and miss with Lance, but they also hit on some players like Aaron Banks, Diamador Lenore, Talanoa Hufunga, Elijah Mitchell, Ambry Thomas has mostly been underwhelming, but he's playing some big moments, right? Trey Sermon was an absolute fail. 2022 would have been another disaster of a year if not for Brock Purdy. Are you counting? That's too bad. The draft is really a difficult thing. I don't know how Howie, what's his name over in Philadelphia? I don't know how he does that. Watch, the Eagles are going to come up at the end of the year, and I hate it when they say at the end of the day or end of the week, who won the draft in 2024? It looks like Howie's done it again. The Eagles have won the draft. I don't want to hear it this year. I hope not, So, but 2022, so hitting on a franchise quarterback in the 7th round makes that draft class a good one, even though Danny Gray, TDP have arrived at Judgment Day and didn't, Do we still have TDP? Okay, I'll tend to Tribe in a minute. Let me finish this up. God damn it. If Drake Jackson, Spencer Burford, and Samuel Womack can turn into something good, then this class could end up being one of the better classes. It's still too early to know much about the 2023 class, so we can't make any judgments. It's too soon. They didn't play much because the roster was so good last season. This is the thing these kids got to come up with. When they get drafted in, what are you going to do? You can't get rid of them yet. They haven't had a chance to prove anything. They got to sit down behind the guys we got. So this class could go either way. Though they could end up being an impressive class or a very underwhelming class, but that's got to remain to be seen. Niners standard has been raised to a level under Shanahan and Lynch that is tough to come in and blend and shine. It's just really rough. Now, the first 2 drafts, 2017 and 18, were weak for the most part, but the 2 drafts produced 2 All-Pros and Kittle and Warner. In fact, the 2019 class may have saved Lynch and Shanahan's jobs. That Jimmy Garoppolo knee injury in early 2018 may have been the best thing for the team. It landed Cheryl Bosa's baby boy, Nick. Strangely enough, you know what? I remember the year everybody didn't want Nick Bosa. They wanted Josh Allen. I'm not talking about quarterback Josh Allen, but the other kid, right? And there's some other guys that wanted that kid that the Jets got. But funny enough, though, all three guys, Williams over in New York, Quinnen, was it Quinnen Williams? All three guys are still in the league and doing well. So I don't know. Strange enough, though, fam, the fifth round has been the 49ers' best round for finding great players. Will the trend continue with Peters now in Washington is the question, and I've talked about that. We've talked about that. Who was the brains behind the drafting Operation Genius that was, and I have to call it genius because how do you pick up a Pro Bowler in the fifth round? I'm sure it happens a lot, but I mean, it's our best round. The sixth round has been mostly misses, and conversely, that's the case. You know, fifth round, you're doing great. Sixth round, not so good. It has been one miss after another in the sixth round, fam. That's to be expected for late rounds, though, but the consistency of ruin should prompt the Niners to just skip that round or put it in a package and trade up or down and never use it if you can avoid that. It's just a bad luck thing. It's whatever it is, but don't keep messing with it. Stay out of the third round and stay out of the sixth round. Package those up each and every time. Hopefully nobody finds out about what you're trying to do. Maybe they have better luck with the third and sixth round, but we don't. The third round has had the second most misses, but some young players could turn that around. Second and fourth rounds have the fewest picks, 4 each. The third and sixth rounds have the most picks, and 12 each. Scary considering the level of success. Starters, wow. You know, we made jokes about this every year. 49ers need to get rid of the first round, the second round, and third round, and trade most of them back for the fifth round, get multiple fifth round picks. You know what? Here starters picked up by round. Round one, we got 5 guys. So round one it's holding its own. Round two, you got 2 guys that are starters. Round 3, 4 guys. Now, this is really interesting because majority of our picks on those rounds are bad, but they do pick up gems here and there. You know, it takes years. Round 4, you got 2. Round 5, 6 starters. Round 6, 1. Round 7, 1. Which draft class had the most hits and misses? 2017, 2 hits, Kittle and Jones. 8 misses. That's not great for your first draft. But then there was Shanahan Lynch basically didn't know what they were doing. Both of them just got Shanahan as his first head coaching job. John's up in the booth. He comes down, he's going to be a GM. All right. 2018, 2 hits, McGlinchey and Warner, 7 misses. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're saying. McGlinchey has to be counted as hit because of the number of starts he made at right tackle. I know what you're saying because we didn't have anybody else. Yeah, I know, but still. Reed go either way. He's a nice player, but he wasn't with the Niners long enough. And unfortunately, that mistake that took place over that weekend, they're going to put. Remember Torres Peck? He got he got put out. Oh no, he got put on waivers. And there's Pete Carroll, who's always bird dogging the 49ers anyway. Okay, I got him. He's gonna come off that practice squad. We're gonna pick him up right now. He's on waivers. Let's go. And he did a good job with the Hawks for a while. He's with the Jets now. 2019, is he with the Jets? Did he stay with the Jets? I don't know. 2019, 4 hits. Bosa, Samuel, Wisnowski, Greenlaw. 4 misses only. 2020, 2 hits. Ayuk and Jennings, 3 misses. Kinlaw is a miss because he missed so many games. While in San Francisco, McKivitz could be a hit or a miss, considering he's starting at the right tackle spot. The jury should really stay out a while longer on him. Offensive linemen often tend to be this way. He could come around this year and be a little better. This is probably going to be judgment day for him, though. 4 hits in 2021. Banks, Lenore, Hufanga, Mitchell. Hufanga gets mixed reviews, doesn't he? Debo Lenore, don't ask Charles about Debo Lenore. 4 misses. 2022, 1 hit. Purdy, 8 misses that year. This particular year looks likely the worst draft. But again, still waiting patiently for Jackson. Drake, man, come on, man. This is it, man. You got to poop and get off the pot. Burford and Womack, that may change their status. 2023, too early to say. Which draft class produced the most star players for the 49ers? Who are the biggest stars? 2017, 1. That's George Kittle. 2018, 1. Warner. 2019, 3. Bosa, Samuel, Greenlaw. If punters can be stars, Wisnowski could be in this class as a fourth. Would you call Mitch Wish a star? I think I would. He rarely makes a mistake. Remember, we've had kickers down through the years shanking the ball. Who was that? Oh, God. Each and every game, boink, off the side of his leg. I said, every week he's got a shank one. He doesn't know his feet and his shin. He doesn't know the difference between the two. Why can't he put his foot on the ball? Mitch Wisnowski kicks balls that go up and come down strange. I like that about him. 2020, one guy, Ayuk. But as great as Jennings is, his position as a receiver pecking order makes you have to hesitate to consider him a star player. And so I'm saying, hell no, Jennings is a star. 2 stars out of 2020. I'm going to call that right now. You rarely get any argument about that. Jennings is a bad boy. I know. I'm not saying anything. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to say it. Pinion. That's him. Thanks, Cubs. Bradley Pinion. Every week, at least once. If he kicked more than 3 times, maybe more. The 2021 question mark, Hufanga and Lenore are on the verge of becoming stars, but they're not quite there yet, right? Talanoa has been a Pro Bowler, I know, but people still say bad things about his tackling, some other things. I'm not saying that I like him a lot. I want to see what he does next. 2022 got 1 star, and his name is Brock Purdy. Which round have the most hits? Round 1, 3 hits. Lynchy, Bosa, and Ayuk. 4 misses that round. I think we went through that. Fam, you know what? I'm not. This is pretty much. I'm gonna leave that right there. Yeah, we're trying to produce some most star players. Yeah, actually, round 1. Okay, see that takes away from round 1. The Bosa and Ayuk. Round 2, 1 Samuel. Round 3, 1 Warner. Round 4, there's no stars. Round 5, 2 Kittle and Greenlaw. Round 6, not 1. Round 7, Brock Purdy emerges the only person in probably a long time. And I don't know if this goes back to 49ers history. We'll see how he does this year. Run down the players drafted by first round picks, defensive tackle, Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster, offensive tackle, Michael McGlinchey, defensive end, Nick Bosa, Javon Kinlaw, wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, 2020, Trey Lance, 2021. Those are all first round picks. Second round, Dante Fail Pettis. But Debo Samuel's in that round. Aaron Banks, Drake Jackson. You know what's so funny? You got Dante Pettis and Drake Jackson have to prove that we could call 4 star rounds, or 4 players in that second round for now. You only got 2. Third round, Witherspoon, C.J. Beathard. Fred Warner's the only guy. Tavares Moore. Didn't Tavares Moore look like he was going to be a keeper? Got beat out. Anyway, fam, let's go ahead and skip right to the chat. Oh, man. Remember 6th round? Remember Peter Tomapino, Marcel Harris, Caden Smith, Justin School, Tim Harris, Charlie Warner. Charlie Warner has to be considered okay. He played a long time. Elijah Mitchell, Nick Zakelj. Kalia Davis is still trying to prove things. I'm not sure what's going to happen to him. Tariq Castro Fields, 2022. D. Winters, 2023. There's a lot of players in the 6th round. Fam, you know what? 7th round. Ronnie Bell, he could improve. Adrian Colbert, remember how good he started out? Julian Taylor. Who was Julian Taylor? Defensive tackle. I can't remember him. Richie James came in that. Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy, Braden Willis, is a linebacker. Ronnie Bell, wide receiver. Jalen Graham. All right. Fam, you know what? Let's go ahead and, because the journey begins, the 2024 draft, and can we actually make choices after the draft is over and say, this guy's going to be a star, this guy's going to be a star. This is fun to me to make those predictions anyway. That kind of prognostication later on can show how your wherewithal for evaluating talent is up there. But your thoughts on how Lynch and Shanahan have built this team since 2017. Listen, you know what? I'm going to have to, if I try, what is Tribe doing? Have you been watching them? Fam, you know what? I haven't got time. I'll be watching though. Try makes one more bad move. He is so out of here. And then this time it's gonna be more than just one few minutes. All right. Because I don't have to put up with that crap. That's probably not really Ramelia anyway. The imposters. The young Montana, I have a feeling, because he's really bitter. He's not really a 49er fan. He's a quarterback fan. And he's been hostile ever since Trey left, right? So that's probably who that is. So, all right. Yo, Aaron!
Ronbo.
Aaron, listen, are you grateful for what's happened down through the years since Shanahan and Lynch came? We've had people firing them and a lot of other negative things. But how do you feel about what they've achieved in the last 6 years?
Yeah, you know what, Ronbo? When Kyle and John first came to the 49ers in 2017, I think.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and with their first two picks they drafted
Reuben Foster and Solomon Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the Solomon Thomas pick was kind of questionable.
Extremely.
But, yeah. I mean, they could have got, like Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
I forgot. You know what? They weren't looking for a quarterback. Remember that year, Kyle Shanahan had already had plans on picking up Kirk Cousins. Immediately, he just needed a filler because he knew he wasn't going to the Super Bowl that year. He just wanted to get through that season, get a good draft pick the next year because we weren't going to do well. It was planned. They knew we were. It's like they didn't really just go ahead and just bail on the season, but it was going to happen organically anyway. And next year, you get a good draft pick, you get Kirk Cousins, and let's go. Didn't work out that way, of course, but that's what the plan was. So Solomon Thomas, we needed to stop the run, remember? We got ran on the year before. They set records running on the 49ers. And Solomon Thomas was supposedly a good run stopper out of Stanford. But that was the reason behind Solomon Thomas.
And, with the Reuben Foster pick, I thought he was going to be a beast, but
I loved him.
His, but his,
love life was
his
strange.
off the field, yeah. So,
but Navarro Bowman was probably going out, and I think that's why they really wanted to get a Reuben Foster because that was like a Navarro Bowman from what you could see at that time.
Yeah, that is true though, and I think that's why we drafted Fred Warner in 2018.
Yeah, very next year. Remember, Big Show pointed him out. I said, Show, we need defense. We don't need more offense right now. And Show says, well, we can get defense. You don't have to get defense in the first round. You can get, you can get Fred Warner. Who? I'll never forget. Oh, it's Fred Warner. Goes to Brigham Young. What? Who's the last time anybody got to get good out of Brigham Young besides that quarterback? I don't know. Now, I'm apologizing to Show every chance I get you. I'm sorry, man. You know what you're talking about, don't you? Fred Warner's a bad boy. Okay. But anyway, go ahead. Who?
Yeah, and
All pro. God.
But so in the year 2019 draft was their best draft. Bosa, Debo, Dre Greenlaw. Who's the puncher for us? Mitch
Wisnowski.
Mitch
Wisnowski. Yeah. Mitch is good.
And
he doesn't mess up often. I can't remember the last time he messed up.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good though. And then 2020 we got Killer was a buzz, and you know, BA. It took BA a couple of years, but
He ain't no
once
bust.
his
Yeah.
third year came, he took off.
Yeah.
So, um, and then 2021, Trey Lance, didn't really pan out. Aaron Banks pan out. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and Hufanga too,
Hufunga's okay.
So
When they last year, remember he had problems tackling, and that's why he was getting hurt a lot. Hufanga was doing them using his head as a warhead, and going in with that first.
He went from tackling to not tackling.
Yeah. Hufanga damn near killed himself tackling, and then they tried to straighten up his form so he'd lead with his shoulder, and all of a sudden his tackling got a little suspect. But yeah, I like him still.
yeah, so I think that's why this year's draft is going to be, crucial because we have like how many free agents?
Next year,
like
I've heard 39.
something?
I didn't count it, but I've heard the number 39 thrown out there, and I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, 1-year deals like crazy next year again. 39. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, that's really scary.
Well, as long as you keep a nucleus, you got to keep a core of studs and surround them with role people and solid backups if you can find them in the draft. We're not going to go to the poorhouse with free agents. That's not the 49er way of doing things. So, it could be a little rough in the years ahead. We should have won the Super Bowl last year. Damn it, that was our Super Bowl league. Anyway.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that was our best chance to win it. Dang it.
Year before, too. Remember, Patrick had a bad wheel until he had to run that one play against the Eagles. But the Eagles had that game won, too. You know what? At some point, I'm going to have to admit that the Chiefs are just the cream of the goddamn crop. They're going to get away no matter what. They're going to find a way.
Yeah,
That's Josh Allen.
I know.
Lamar Jackson. They can't beat him either. Nobody can beat the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and I'm hating it.
Well, I said maybe the Bengals if Joe Burrow is healthy, because Joe Burrow beat Mahomes like a couple of years ago.
That's right. Would they start calling Arrowhead Stadium Burrowhead Stadium? Yeah, Burrow. Yeah, Burrow. He owns them. Except Burrow finally got some of the Patrick Mahomes medicine too, but he wasn't healthy.
But yeah, Ronald, just to let you know, tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh, well, listen, we're out of time now. Let me say happy birthday to you right now. Happy. Happy 90th birthday to Aaron. Happy 90th birthday, Aaron. Happy 90th. Aaron, happy birthday, Aaron. What are you going to do? You going to do anything with the rest of this evening? What are you going to do here? You going to have a good time?
We'll probably just go out to eat,
All right. We'll
like
do that. We'll have a good time. All right, Aaron.
But,
I'll see you.
Ronbo, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll see you draft night. All right?
All right, Ronbo. Take
All right,
care.
Aaron. You too. Thanks. Happy birthday. And there he is. Good night. Good night, Aaron. There he is. He is chill. Phil.
Ronbo, am I going to have to cheer you up again?
No, I'm okay. I've got. Please, do it like you do it.
Trying about our draft picks. You got to remember, we traded a bunch of draft picks for CMC. Did that pay off?
Yes, royally.
Okay. We've been to 2 Super Bowls and 2 NFC championships in the last 5 years.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Phil, let me establish one thing with you, though, Phil.
We've got the best roster in football.
We do.
What are we complaining about?
I just want you to know, I'm not complaining. I was asking for opinions. I don't want to say anything to make anybody think, well, Ronbo loves him, man. So I don't want to make anybody mad. But Phil, I know you don't mind making people mad. Go ahead. Talk about it.
We haven't picked well, but we've traded well, and we've signed free agents well, and we've gotten undrafted free agents well. I mean, remember, Mostert was an undrafted free agent. Yeah. Jennings was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah. What?
We've got a lot of guys.
Was it Jennings a 7th-round pick?
No, he's undrafted.
Juwan Jennings?
That's why we were able to keep him this year. Because he was a restricted free agent.
Oh, you mean yeah? I mean, initially, okay, yeah. No, well, yeah, now, yeah.
Detroit versus everybody. Welcome home Thursday.
Oh, geez.
We can't laugh at him like we used to, though. It really bothers me.
Well, we still beat them.
I know, but it was embarrassing. I mean, we got our butts handed to us for 4 quarters of football. I mean, they were mopping the floors with us, Phil. We finally pulled it out, though, because we stayed tough. But, God, Jesus. Okay.
Well, our little 7th rounder came back and beat him.
Yeah, he stayed. Boy, Brock was, oh, man. The stories are saying about how Brock behaved in that game of make your skin just tingle, man. I'm glad he's a quarterback. Whew.
And I tell you what, any year that you get your franchise quarterback in the 7th round, you've had a successful draft.
Damn right.
There are teams that try for years to get a quarterback.
I know.
So, Ronbo, I just hope, one thing I think about these mock drafts is they're 100% wrong.
Think so? At least 100%.
Almost every one of them, none of them match up. It's like winning the lotto, Because there's always going to be some team that drafts out of the weirdness, and then it throws everything off. And
how do the Eagles pull that off? The Eagles are the most consistently good drafting team, it seems.
That's what they say, but they lost 6 games in a row at the end of the season last year.
I was getting ready to say that. Phil, make me laugh. The Eagles go out and they win every year. The Eagles have won in free agency.
You never know about drafts. You got to wait about 2 or 3 years for a draft class to be graded.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hit right off the bat. You get starters and they're Pro Bowlers and whatever, but rarely happens.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Ronbo, I'm just hoping that we invest in the offensive line. We need to fix the right side of the offensive line. We've lost 2 Super Bowls because of it.
Phil, where do you go? You got to pay top dollar for an established stud to play offensive line.
No, but this
or you
draft
got to try to
deep
draft
on O-linemen.
Yeah, Tony was pointing that out.
It's deep on
3rd
O-linemen.
and 4th round.
And I would go, like in the 1st round, see who drops, pick your guy, the best guy on the board. The 2nd round, you get that kid out of Washington.
For sure.
You look at his film, and he's pretty good.
I know who you're talking about, though, yeah.
And he was the fastest offensive lineman at the Combine.
Oh, you're talking about the other
guy. He ran under 5.
I know you're talking about. The 49ers were visiting him last week.
Yeah.
Phil, is he going to be what round are you talking about, Phil, to see if you can get him? Because if
he'll be late 2nd round is where he's scheduled to go, or even early 3rd, but we can get him in the 2nd.
The 49ers will probably do that.
And just wait on that first pick and see who drops, because there's always some guy that drops. There always is.
I know.
And you just grab him up, and then you go in and you get a tackle in the 2nd round. You go in and you get a corner in the 3rd, We've got 3/4. We can do some maneuvering with those draft picks. I mean, we're in good shape. We got 10 picks. That's more than most teams. I mean, I was hearing the Bears have only 4 picks.
What a mess.
So
if I'm a Bears fan, I'd be livid. My God.
4 picks in a bad roster. We've got no real holes. Except for the right side of the offensive line.
Well, Phil, now that you mentioned that, you could call the Bears up. You guys need a few picks? Why? Okay, well, listen, let me get that second round pick.
Oh, yeah.
I'd call them.
I'm almost sure that the Trey Lance pick that we got from Dallas is going to be dealt.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want some guy having the burden of being 3 first-round picks on his shoulders.
And they're going to they want a face-saving move to get some capital back for all those picks. It could be.
Yeah, at least we got a 4th round out of it.
Yeah.
Flowers got what, a 5th, 6th? What was it? I don't. But
can't recall.
I mean, I trust our management team. They've done a good job building the roster. We've been competitive every year.
I agree.
We're in the playoffs.
And it's hard to pick a team out of the draft. Some of those players coming there have no business even being in the draft. Hell, those first rounders that have no business being in the draft. So it's really a shot in the dark. Anyway,
unless
50% of first round picks don't get their 5th-year option picked up, which means then they're a bust.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you pay them $12. You get first round money. Phil,
and you're paying them like
oodles
in the millions.
Quarterback. Top
so
5,
anyway.
Like they're going this year, the first five out of 6 picks are going to be QBs. What a risk.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see the 49ers
in
that position.
We got ours.
Oh, God.
We got ours for a while.
Yeah. Well, Phil, we're going to go.
Anyway, Ronbo.
See you draft night.
You know what? I'm just going to enjoy the draft, watch it, see who's going to be a Niner. Hopefully we hit on our guys and have a good draft.
That's all we can ask.
And if we do, we're going to be right back in the Super Bowl again.
I know. We got the team. We haven't paid Brock yet. We got all our studs in place. We're ready. We're poised. It's just mentally all we got to do is launch. All right.
We need to sign BA. Get Brandon Ayuk done.
He's signing. Don't listen to those clowns running around talking that trash. They have no sources whatsoever. Just making it up, and we all click it. I'm going to stop. I already did. All right, Phil.
No, they need to get that. They need to get him done, and so that we don't have going into camp with any kind of drama.
We're going to. I guarantee it.
Anyway, Ronbo, don't worry. Be happy.
I am. Bobby McFerrin. Yes. Don't worry. Be happy.
Yes.
Hey, Phil. I'll see you draft night. We'll do a lot of talking between
We'll talk after the draft.
Looking forward to it. All right.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, Phil. Well, so you know what I need to do? I wish. Do I have time? I don't know if I have time though. The big show. Ooh, it's a big show on the show. I'm looking at your draft. Can we do show's draft real quick? All right. So I'm looking. Round 1, I love your grades too. Tyler Newman out of Minnesota, he's a safety. All right. Round 2, defensive, Chris Jenkins, Michigan. You got a B- grade on that too. That's a good pick, Joe. Wide receiver Jermaine Burton, Alabama. I love the way she shows keeping south. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. C on that one. Guard Cooper Beebe. That's an A. So talk to me about Cooper Beebe, will you? Now, how did you make that?
So like Phil had said, we need to address the right side of our offensive line, and I have been arguing that ever since the beginning of the season of 2023. And Cooper Beebe brings versatility to the table. He can play the left side, and he can also play the right side. And John Feliciano is going to be his last year here in San Francisco, and it would be a great time for Cooper Beebe to sit behind John Feliciano and develop behind him and build his body up more for NFL established players and Payne exactly, and get ready to go the following year, and that'll solidify our right guard spot because Spencer Burford is not the long-term answer. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
No, in fact, I'm sorry. If he doesn't get cut this year, I'll be surprised. Kyle always gets his revenge. Mike Persons, first Super Bowl, Mike Persons did not. He actually acted as if he quit, but you know what really happened in that. You just looked at Ray McLeod. Ray McLeod was out in a heartbeat. Burford will be lucky to survive camp. Kyle Shanahan is a very vindictive guy. He gets pissed off at certain people if you make a mistake. Jimmy Garoppolo, gone. You know, he'll get ready if you make him mad. Oh, so yeah, you're right.
And I had mentioned to you in the email that I sent you the first 6 picks in the first 4 rounds that I have. Mm-hmm. They have a combined total of 219 games played. Ooh. And durability is huge to me when it comes to picking players in the draft, and that's what I look at. I look at not only film, but I also look at their availability during all 4 years that they played in college. Yes, granted, some of them have had redshirt freshman years, which was why you see some games played in the beginning of their freshman year, only 5 or 3 games, and that's fine. And then the following 2 years, they play outstanding, and that's what the first four rounds, the first 6 guys I had, I think.
Like your HB Audric Esteem, you got a good grade on that show. Notre Dame.
He is 230 pounds. He's 230 pounds. I believe 6'1", 6'2". Don't quote me on his height, but he is definitely around that weight, and he's a little. He's. I don't want to compare him to Derrick Henry, but his body size is almost comparable to him. Oh. Because Derrick Henry is you know how big he is.
Yeah, well, yeah. A lot of players do too.
In fact, you were scared the hell out of the week we played Tennessee one year. I remember because we had to go up against him, and
I hated it. He didn't get loose on us.
We looked like a bunch of he can't be tackled. He's like a damn tight end, Derrick Henry / running back.
I mean, he's a reincarnation of Jim Brown coming down the field. Once he starts running, you don't want to step in the way. You got to make a business decision when he's coming down the field. And if you have to think about that, most likely you decide, no, I'm not committing. I'll make a dive at his feet. That's it.
And we need a number 2 running back to take the pressure off of Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
There's been articles out there already that's been saying that we're going to be running Christian McCaffrey into the ground again. And what does that usually lead to? Usually it leads to injuries.
Yeah. We got lucky last year. He got hurt toward the end of the season, too.
Yeah. If we continue to do that, rely on CMC way too much, then there's going to be no tread left on him when he's up for a new deal or when his contract ends with us. And
he's all beat up.
Sign our CMC.
So tight end Jaheim Bell, round 4 also. You got a lot of 4th round picks.
Very athletic tight end. He's also played. He's also very durable. He's played all 4 years of his college career very well with Florida State. They were a nightmare in the beginning of the year, and then their quarterback situation fell apart. And but he still maintained pretty good production with Jordan Travis and the quarterback before him. I can't recall his name because it's been a while since he's played. I think his college career ended, unfortunately, the quarterback that was before Jordan Travis because of an injury. But Jaheim Bell was very productive with whatever quarterback they threw at him, and that's what you also look for in a tight end. Number 2, which we still also find and solidify to take also the pressure off George Kittle because he's getting older.
And I want 2 tight ends out there with George Kittle. I want 2 tight end sets ran a little more often. Anyway, you got Bo Limmer, a center. Got a good grade.
Very athletic center. Huh? Very athletic center. Played all 4 years again. Very durable. And Jake Brindle would give he would give Jake Brindle fits, I think, during the training camps and OTAs and preseason games, and he would solidify a spot on this roster should we not sign Jake Brindle next year, which I don't think we're going to because he's not the greatest center either. He gets bullied a lot too.
Yeah.
And we need to solidify that center position, and I think it's Jake Brindle's last year with us, and from center on right,
anyway. I mean, they've been grooming him.
I don't know why that. I don't know why. I mean, he hasn't contributed anything to this team, and it annoys me seeing names like that are still around. Honestly, like what have you done for us lately? You know what I mean? If you haven't done shit, then you should go.
And why are you never ever on the field under any circumstances?
I understand we need depth and everything like that, but there are better depth pieces out there than Nick Gill. I mean, come on. Get out of here, Nick.
Because Trent Baalke used to bring in people to sit around on the bench, and they couldn't get a job on any team, and Trent would drag them in and boast things like, what they call the draft ninja. Because Trent Baalke always had an army sitting on the bench, but they weren't worth a damn, Trent. Those guys, everybody was afraid to see him come in.
I wouldn't say any team in the NFL, but I would say probably the UFL or the AFL, which is now the UFL that's owned by The Rock. They probably would get a job there because they like the scrubs from the leftover NFL teams. So,
scraps.
Nick Gill, you have a job over there if you want to go. So just leave us and stop taking up the roster space.
So wide receiver Joshua Cephas. Now why him?
Very explosive wide receiver, can run routes, can break between tackles, or escape from tackles, excuse me. He just stood out to me when I watched him a few of his games on YouTube, and he was one of the workhorse wide receivers on UTEP. And he would be a great depth piece for us should we use Juwan next year, which is a very highly likely chance that he goes next year because we can't retain everybody. We can't pay everybody.
Yeah.
And you had forgot to also mention my trade that I made in the beginning of the draft.
I didn't see it indicate. I didn't read down here. Okay. Talk about your trade. I
traded Brandon Ayuk to.
Oh, that's right. Why did I sort of blacked out when I saw that. That's how you got all those fourth-round picks. Talk about it.
The Vegas odds have Brandon Ayuk's team, the next team he's going to be playing with, as the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Papa Dragons love to go off of those resources to determine his actions and talk his thoughts on here. And the Vegas odds have him at -200 or +200 to be his next team to play for in 2024. And so,
really,
yes. And the Patriots are like 900, or the Chargers at 900. The Patriots are next, I think, and then it's the Steelers, and then us at 600. But the Steelers have the highest odds, and I had sent Brandon Ayuk to the Steelers for their 50th pick, and I believe 81st or 84th pick or something like that, second and third round pick, and that's where I solidified the defensive tackle position with Jenkins, and our linebacker position that we desperately need too, because there's no telling how oh my God, Drake Greenlow's going to come out and play.
Yeah.
And also we need a safety because we don't know how Bufanga is going to be the same or not. So that's why I selected Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota, who's a complete ball hawk.
Well,
and so
I see the good sense behind what you were doing. I think Vegas and everybody else, I can't wait till Thursday. My God, we're getting rid of BA.
And there's one more. We can't afford him, Ronbo. It's plain as day. How are we going to afford $60 million and pay Brock Purdy $50 million? Like I said, yes, granted, there are a lot of contracts that are going to be falling off the books next year, but all of that money is going to be allocated towards Brock Purdy.
Okay, so you're right about one thing. If there's going to be a deal done, it's going to be done between now and Thursday. 49ers have no reason to think
it's got to make sense financially for both parties, and if Brandon Ayuk is not in agreement with the number that the 49ers gave him, then it's obviously they're not going to come close to an agreement or a deal. And then you just trade him. You know, like it's business tense. It's set your feelings aside. You've got to think about the future for this organization, and if you want to continue to have a great team around this and with this franchise, then stop overpaying every single player. You can't afford to do that. Bill Belichick said if you want to retain success for the next 20 years, you can't pay everybody.
Well, Bill Walsh had the same kind of thinking too. Okay, real quick because we're going to run out of time here. Quarterback Sam Hartman.
And there's one
Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's a very good quarterback. That would do fine should Brock Purdy go down. God forbid that happen. Yeah, he had just look at his efficiency percent, his completion percentage, and throughout his 3 years at Notre Dame, he had a great offensive line in Joe Alt and Blake Fisher, the right tackle and left tackle there.
Notre Dame, of course, he's got a great offensive line. I don't know how the quarterback is in the star every year. Yeah,
that's an offensive line producing machine right there at Notre Dame. And the one tackle I do agree with Papa Dragons is Javon Foster out of Missouri, who I selected in my multiple mocks that I've had. Okay. He's versatile as well. He can play right side and left side as well too. So and he's played consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, he's played.
You played consistently. We got that. All right. Now tackle Delmar Glaze, Maryland, and it's not, with an offensive lineman. You're talking about offensive lineman, right? Delmar Glaze. Yeah. Well,
Delmar Glaze.
Yeah, these rounds are not frightening to pick up an offensive lineman. Now, why did you pick out Delmar?
Delmar Glaze his PFF scores are completely off the charts. If you look at his stats on their website, they're basically in the 80 range throughout all 3 years that he's played in college, and he's a future left tackle, I believe. He's 6'6" and 300 something pounds, and so if he sits behind Trent Williams and develops behind him for a year, then he might be able to start there. So, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you pick your franchise tackles out. Look at Trent Brown. He's a Super Bowl winner. And
Trent Brown. Trent drug that.
You guys had mentioned him earlier.
Moose in. Looked like he weighed about 6,000 pounds. And I said, Trent, what the hell did you do? And then a year later, now they talk about him like almost a legendary status as if he could just wasn't lazy. Trent Brown does not like to work out, though. And 49ers threatened him that year. He left. He said, listen, Trent, we need for you to come in a little better condition this next year. And Trent came in bigger than ever.
And we have a pretty good offensive line coach in Forrester. John Lynch obviously trusts him and believes in him to coach up our offensive line. And he's like the Chris Kasurk of our offensive line. So
I agree.
With the exception of Brendel and those guys there, they haven't really lived up to expectations. So that's not his fault, though.
So appreciate it. I mean, we got your draft in. Okay.
All right, for sure. Shout out to everyone. All right. Take care. You'll have a great night.
By the way, wait. I think you had a message here. What was that from? 49 Brown says, show did the VIX work? So, you sound better today. Everybody's talking about show sounds better.
But I feel a lot better, yeah. My voice is almost like 90% back.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so because you're going to need that for Thursday.
All right.
All right, fam. Nice
all right,
show.
take care. All right, good night. All right, take care.
Thanks, Brian. Justin.
Hey.
Just in. Justin, we're sitting there talking about the 6-year careers of Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and what they've done with the 49ers. And Justin, are you grateful? Are you happy? Are you satisfied with the work they've done and what they've achieved over the past few years? Justin, do we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah. Were you talking a moment ago? Yeah, I was wondering. Justin, I want to get your feeling. I'm sorry, say it again.
I've got an echo.
Oh, you say you got an echo? Justin, we got a bad connection? I will take a seat.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Hey, Fozzie. Yeah, I can hear you, Justin. You're coming in broken up. What's going on? Have you got sound now? Justin? Justin, we got some kind of a strange connection. I'm getting every other word. Justin?
I'll reach out. I don't know. What's happening?
Yeah, Justin, go ahead. And did you hear my question? All right, Justin. Justin, if you're using Bluetooth, I think you might not use that. It's not going to work because that's usually this is usually what happens when I hear Bluetooth. Justin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Justin, if you're using Bluetooth, that's not going to work. This usually is what happens when people use Bluetooth. Some work, but most don't because you're coming in delayed. All right, Justin, work with that. Well, I'm gonna come back. Okay, all right. And here's the leader of the Dragon Clan. Here's a man who came in Friday and told us. And by the way, he got endorsed by the Big Show on one tackle. Hey, Papa, come on in, man.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Pop, man, this is going to be interesting. So, who was that? Phil says that everybody's going to be 100% wrong. Hey, you know what, though? We've had, down through the years, we've had a few picks that were picked up in some of the mock drafts that we did.
Well, sometimes the research is there where you can kind of see where some of these picks could happen, and they do kind of cross-reference.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it works out. Listening to the Big Show's draft, I thought his draft was pretty solid, except for about 80% of it.
Well, it leaves a lot. 20%.
I'm trying to pick the best player on the board. He's reaching for need. Chris Jenkins he's a second rounder, third rounder all day, and everybody else is draft board. He's not going in the first round. Why? Well, let me guess. He had a problem running, right?
Yeah.
So some of the weaknesses is inconsistent contact balance during lateral block engagement. Not nearly enough anchor to withstand a double team.
That's real seriously
ideal
important.
training to add girth and weight.
Which name did you say?
Hand pop placement.
Did you say Chris Jenkins?
Chris Jenkins.
Yeah. So it's got him.
Chris Jenkins in the NFL is a right end. He is not a defensive tackle.
Okay.
He cannot take on double teams. He does not have the frame to put on extra girth. He's maxed out, which probably means injuries in the NFL. Cannot consistently take on double teams. He can't do it. On film, he cannot beat a double team. He cannot take them on.
Okay, well, that's
that's
not
going
to work.
Being able to take on a double team is imperative in his offense. Imperative. Now, if you're taking on a double team, it doesn't mean a number of sacks. What it means is either penetrations or blowing up plays in the backfield.
And just create enough violence
right? So
that other guys could work. Yeah.
Right. If you're trading up in the first round, which I couldn't do, I tried. It would take a lot, including trading Ayuk, and I would be willing to trade Ayuk for generational talent, somebody who could possibly grow into an all-pro right away. But there's enough players that are clustered together between picks 15 and 45 where you can get a solid player at 31, if not a top 2 in a position category, which is how I look at it. Can I get a top 5 player at any one of the positions that can help this team, right?
Yeah.
So do I worry about 39 free agencies? I do a little bit, but not this year because they're already on the team. Do I worry about Ayuk? No. He's on a contract for $15 million. What other receiver can I pay $15 million to and get Ayuk?
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd ain't it. I'm not
he
talking
reported
about
to camp already. Ayuk's not going to sit. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah,
sit
I'm not
out
talking
or
about.
threaten to.
Well, whether he sits out or not, that's up to him. It's foolish on his part because it never works out for players. Because the minute you step away from the game, it didn't work out for Bosa. It didn't. Bosa had a down year last year.
And look,
because there's nothing like being in camp the whole time getting ready.
Right. And look what did Deshaun Johnson. Deshaun, the Browns quarterback. Anyway, he looks like a shadow of himself now. So
right.
Watson.
You know, I mean, so I see this really. If you reach for need, that's when you get in trouble in the draft. Pick the best player available.
Yeah,
there are probably 15 to 20 players better than Chris Deacon, better than Jermaine Burton. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I like him as a linebacker, but we signed a linebacker. We got one coming back from injury, and we got Fred, whatever his name is. Fred, whatever his name is.
You're not talking about Warner,
I like Cooper Beebe. Yeah, Warner. Cooper Beebe is good. You know, Javon Foster's starting to pop up on a lot of people's boards because he is a left and a right tackle. You know, so
those
there's
are rare,
kind of an agreement there. But yeah, Chill Pill Phil's right. Most of us aren't going to be 100% wrong. Not all of us Chill Pill Phil. I looked at a draft today, and guess who? 2 players are on that draft, and this is from ESPN. It's up there now on 49ers web zone. He's got both Javon Foster on there, and he's got Luke McCaffrey on there in the 4.
Luke.
So it's not.
I meant to ask Tony about Luke as well. And don't ask Big Show about Luke.
Yeah,
he gets pissed off. But I did want to know.
That's what I'm saying. Getting your emotions into it ain't going to get business done. You got to pick the best player available based on them coming into your building. And, again, they got to get in and fit in. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about Luke fitting in. He may take a little time to develop, but what did he say about Luke? I only like one player in this draft. He asked him about Luke. I like Luke. Luke played. He played pretty well when I saw him. He ran routes. He caught the ball. Yeah, that's his first year playing receiver. He's a freaking McCaffrey. And the only thing that means is that he's a hard worker. He's going to come in prepared. He won't be eating chicken wings on the sideline. And you're not going to have to pay him $30 million.
Yeah. You know, the pedigree's there. That's why I like the Bosa's. When we first got them, I said, you know what? That's a family of studs. Get him. So, yeah, right. I agree.
It's the same thing. It's like Jerry Rice's son. You would think that it's in him to be running the hill and outworking everybody. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. But in some, I would pick him if we needed receivers desperately, and we don't right now. Now, if we move, you have to look at a receiver probably in the second round. But remember, players like Chet Ochocinco come out of the second round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson late first. The great players, receivers is an abundance of players in that. If you have an abundance, okay, unless he's some kind of super freak like Megatron, you don't pick him in the first. You just wait because there'll be a bunch of other guys there. But players like offensive tackles, defensive ends, quarterbacks, rare tight ends, right? Those are players that will be taken in the first. Or maybe you get a running back in the first round that can catch the ball like a receiver. Sometimes you do that, but you want to get those rare, possible all-pro type players that could possibly be there. And I just totally think that Cooper DeJean, if he falls, I don't expect him to fall. He just fell in my mock draft in the simulation, so I took him because I'm not stupid. He's not who I targeted, right? But I took him. The same person who had 2 picks that I agreed with. They went with Mims in the first round at 31, and then they went with the center, number 2, and then they went someplace else, right? I took Mims off my board because, again, I'm concerned. It's about his experience. I would not put a first. He's not a first round pick.
I don't want a project.
It's what you call it. What do you call that when you got it's like. If you're in one of those positions that are highly valued, you will get overdrafted.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We value a defensive tackle. Don't make the mistake of overdrafting an offensive tackle or a defensive lineman because you overvalue that position, unless you know for a fact, and you never do know because it's a crapshoot. But I know for a fact that Jenkins is not a first rounder. Hell, the whole NFL knows that.
Yeah.
So it ain't. I don't see it happening. I guarantee you, Cooper DeJean is going to get drafted in the first round. I guarantee you that.
But to be fair,
he's going to get drafted before Jenkins gets drafted.
Yeah, Jenkins. It's a round 2 pick for sure. He traded that first round pick. Apparently.
And I get it. Is that a round 2? Chris Jenkins was a second round pick or first round?
Chris Jenkins round 2, pick 51.
Okay, he picked him aside. Okay, that's a solid pick. I take that back, Show. I still don't like you. Actually, Show, I love you.
Yeah. You know what? They did pick up Tyler Nubin, a safety. How do you feel about Tyler? And that's his first round pick at 31.
Oh, there it is, right there. Yes, that was him criticizing me for taking a safety. He takes one. That's what I'm upset about, Joe. You the
So
same
you do
thing
that?
I did. Joe, good draft. Honestly, Joe, straight up, seriously, good draft. It looks like you took the best player available at that time. That probably was a good play. That's a good play.
Because I saw that you wanted a safety in the first round too. So and we know.
So let me correct myself, Joe.
Yeah, you apologize.
Joe, I'm gonna give you 65%. 65% of your draft sucks, but good job.
We got to go, Bob.
It takes a lot of balls to do it. It's hard, and you did it, and you put it out there. Everybody see you criticize, Joe. Yeah. So again, I don't know if you were sick or if you were blind, if you were drunk and high when you made these picks, but I still think you probably picked better than Kyle Shanahan. You picked better than Kyle Shanahan, Joe.
You never know.
Yeah. Feel better, Joe. Hey, so call the 49ers. You definitely picked better than Kyle Shanahan. You got like a first round grade of like, he's got like 11% success rate in round one, which is not good, Joe. You're definitely better than him. But I'm just saying.
We got to pull up Bob. Let me see you Thursday. All right?
Yes. All right. Hey, shout out to Joe Phil and the Big Show and all three of the Tonys, especially the one down in Atlanta. Appreciate the shout out for the one pick. And shout out to you, Ronbo, and the platform.
Well,
right?
Thanks,
and shout out to production and Jalen. Shout out to all the ladies out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Papa Dragon. Like and subscribe, and I'm out.
And we all appreciate you, and you know this. I'll see you Thursday. Night, fam.
Yes, sir.
There goes Papa D, the Dragon Clan leader. Hey, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, you're driving, aren't you?
Low key. How'd you figure?
Yeah, no, I can hear the wind flying into your speaker. But
no, that's AC.
Yeah. Be careful. I always worry when people are driving and talking. So okay.
Oh no, it's not how it used to be, where like you can't connect Bluetooth no more. Although it's actually a lot easier now to talk and drive.
Okay, wait. Let me. You know what? Tribe. I've told you to keep Sharice's name and Nikita off your keyboard. Let Tribe out for the rest of the day. God, how much of an a-hole? They're born every. What is this? There's a ratio of how many are born every 5 minutes. All right. Steven, go ahead.
Yeah. Hold on, Ronbo. Give me just a sec.
Huh? Okay, yeah. You need a minute?
Sorry about that. All right.
All
right. Very good, man. And I'm ordering Dutch roast for me and Jazz right now because she hasn't had any coffee since
All right.
She hadn't any caffeine really since she gave birth. So it's going to be a large Berliner Rebel 3090 and a small ice Golden Eagle, right? Yep.
I love it catch some of you guys driving through the drive-through.
So they're going to be 30 hard cash. Apple Pay. Very good, man. All right. But yeah, Ronbo.
Put some extra cheese on it. And tell them to make sure to cook those onions. Don't give me any raw onions. Well, go ahead. Hey, Steven. So, this thing tonight, we're giving kudos or not for a dynamic duo, Shanahan and Lynch, of which Tony down and down. Let us say, oh, what dynamic duo! This isn't Kyle Shanahan. He sucks. That's Steven. I think you have a similar feeling, though. I just realized. But listen, about the team they've built, though, can you honestly, in your heart of hearts, really criticize the work they've gotten done? And if you can, tell me about it. Or tell us about it.
Yeah, because hear me out on this. Every pick that we've traded up for in the first and second round or even the third round has always been a bust. And
amazingly, yeah.
If you notice, a lot of John Lynch's picks are about 50-50, but Kyle Shanahan's is like 1 in like 10.
I don't know what he's looking
at. So it's like, can we criticize? I'd say, I can criticize pretty hard. I can criticize the shit out of Shanahan and John Lynch. Why? Because we have so much talent, yet where's our ring?
Well, that was determined in the game. I don't know if the people they picked. Yeah, listen, what if you could have picked another player on think about the situations where we really screwed up and lost the ball game. Is that about the personnel, or what do you attribute that to? What are those fails about? Why did they take place? And are you looking at the roster they built? Are you looking at the scheme they're running? Are you looking at Kyle Shanahan's judgment calls at the time? There's so many factors.
It's all of it. No, it's all of it. It's the team as a whole. But when you're looking at the draft, Ronbo, look at how many players we have from the draft that we barely see on the field. Jake Jackson started the season, 3 sacks. Phenomenal start to his season. In one game, 3 sacks. Think about it. And he was injured. This was before he got, like severely injured, And can you say, like, oh, yeah, he's a bust? Well, kind of not really, because, with an injury like that, he had to be out for the entire season. Because I believe he had an ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It was some weird freak injury that was hindering him, and then it finally got aggravated enough to where he had to sit out for the whole season.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be
if you're looking at
durability,
if you're looking at quarterback talent, if you're looking at quarterback talent, let's look at the list. Let's look at the list.
Oh my
CJ
God,
Beathard,
that's brutal. Go ahead.
Nick Mullen, Jimmy G. Who else? Trey Lance. We're talking about quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan has handpicked in general.
Yep.
Who else? Who else can we throw in there?
I know you
name?
don't.
Oh my God.
I know you don't like last year's backup.
No, I did not.
Yes.
But
and Kyle's pretty
it is
high.
who it is.
Always did like him.
Who else? What's that guy's name before CJ Beathard? We drafted him. He was supposed to be like the next, Johnny Football or like the next Andrew Luck. What was his name? The last name starts with a B. It's not Beathard.
Oh, I think I know you. Nick Mullins is in there, but Nick Mullins was a UDFA.
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to put is Sam Darnold on your list of quarterback that Kyle loves so much and you don't appreciate?
Sam Darnold is on the list. He is on the list.
Okay, so you got 4, and about the guy pre-CJ Beathard. Oh, Brian Hoyer, but Brian Hoyer, he didn't draft him. He didn't draft him. He brought him over with him.
Oh my God!
You know how Kyle Shanahan's system is. You need to bring somebody. At that particular time, he needed to bring somebody who was familiar with his system. Hoyer had some success when they were in Texas. So he brings Hoyer over to San Francisco thinking he could get his program started. But he knew Hoyer was not going to be there forever or even long. He's going after next year the prodigy over in Minnesota. Kirk!
Let's do some extra salt in the wound. This is something that the Niners have consistently shot themselves in the foot season by season for 8 seasons in a row. Have constantly kept cutting and bringing back, cutting and bringing back, cutting and bringing back. Josh Johnson.
No, you're right. You know what, though? But he's not meant to start. He's for camp purposes to help the 49ers with mobile quarterbacks, right? So Josh was used for purposes to train more than he was to start. Him being out there in NFCCG, that was a complete unfortunate accident.
I don't know. To me, that's inexcusable because it's like if you're going to sign somebody on the practice, even just as a practice squad quarterback or whatever, or even on the team, that person should be able to be a plug-and-play kind of person.
No such thing. Steve, no such thing.
Even Kyle. Well, even Kyle says, it's a plug-and-play system. It just takes a little time to understand. The problem is that Josh Johnson didn't have time to study that playbook. He also had no idea what he was doing. And if we're going to talk about mobile, he wasn't mobile. He was out.
Whereas he should have been. They killed him. No. You know what? Okay, Josh is the exception, but it's hard to find a quarterback. Steven?
Yeah, no, it is hard to find a quarterback.
Yeah, no, it's hard to find it. How many teams have busted quarterbacks all over the roster that can't play? Look at the Steelers. There's been a lot of teams that are actually worse than the 49ers when it comes to quarterbacks. So it's hard to be exact on that.
Yeah, that's hard, but at the same time, it shouldn't be damn near impossible. Because look at Trevor Lawrence, look at Joe Burrow, look at who else?
They got nobody backing them up either, though.
But they still somewhat look good and produce enough just to get their get ahead.
What I'm saying is,
here's the other thing too.
they got no depth behind their starters. Stephen, as a matter of fact, as you know, usually when a starter goes down on any given team in the NFL, the backup, if they're in contention to go for the playoffs, they're probably not going to make it. How many teams do you know like that?
Unless you're the Chiefs.
Who?
The Chiefs?
Oh, that's a prime example. Who is the backup quarterback in Kansas City?
That's a good question. That's a damn good question. I don't know who that backup quarterback is, but it's like, because you never see Patrick Mahomes down for more than maybe 2 or 3 plays.
And if he is, the dude is legendary. Patrick Mahomes will get up and continue to play at a high level. That year when he beat the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes had a bad ankle. Remember that play he ran down the field? Looked like he was running a 5-5 or 4-5 running down the field. I mean, Patrick was jamming. And his dad's body and all. Dude was flying with a bad wheel.
He must have took some PEDs because there ain't no fucking way you got a high ankle sprain. I'm still running a 4-5 down the field.
I mean, the dude was running.
I don't believe it.
They couldn't catch him, Steven. They beat the Eagles behind that play. So, Gabbert. Well, Nikita, thank you. It's Gabbert's in Kansas City, isn't he?
Gabbert.
Andy Reid likes him.
Oh
Thanks, Nikita.
God. Blaine Gabbert. Another 49er bust.
That's who you were thinking about, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven,
Another 49er bust.
I'm gonna assume that your grade for the 49ers and what they've done isn't real high, but we're gonna run out of time.
I say it's a D-.
D-, okay. All right, Steven, I'm gonna see you draft night so you can tell us really how you feel about him for that first round pick. Okay?
Hey, when is it? Tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow?
Thursday.
What do you say tomorrow?
The draft. Yeah, it's Sunday, Steven.
I was hoping you say tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. You got days. All right. I'll see you then, okay?
See you then. Have a good night.
Looking forward to it. Night, Steven. Uh-oh. Can you imagine? Papa Dragon was in there, but Big Show, Steven, and now Jalen, the abused child. Jalen, get in here, man. Doing all right. Jalen, I'm starting to feel bad. I really wish, for your sake, not even mine, I wanted the 49ers to win that Super Bowl. You've been waiting, you and Show and some others. You've never seen those glorious parades. Jalen, what is your assessment of the 49ers, the Shanahan and Lynch regime, and how they put this team together, orchestrated it, and guided it to the last?
Jesus, that's how you really won't.
Go ahead.
If I'm being honest, up until that Rams game, that NFC Championship game, I told myself, you know what, Kyle, for what you have and what you've done, I'm happy. I'm okay with that. Ronbo, because nobody expected us to make it to that NFC Championship game that year. We was like 2-6, dead in the water.
Yeah. Battled our way back to that position. That's true.
So I said, okay, Kyle, we made it to the Super Bowl after nobody thought we were gonna make it there. After 2 bad seasons, we had a hurt season. Then you come back and you bring us out of the mud and you get us in the NFC Championship. I said, okay, all right, that's cool. I said, that was back when I was telling you, Ronbo, if he don't get us a ring by 2025, don't renew his contract. That's how I was thinking at first. Then everything changed when we went and traded for Christian McCaffrey. That is what immediately shifted the landscape of the NFL. And the 49ers immediately became the Super Bowl favorites after that.
Wait, Jalen, hold on. I got the fake Chris Hansen. He comes back in every day, and the guy is so smart that he comes in and immediately says exactly what makes me know that ain't the real Chris Hansen. Oh, that was just stupid. Young Montana, I know that's you. It sounds like you. Okay, oh, God. Jesus. If you're going to be a troll, be a smart troll. Go ahead. All right, go ahead, Jalen. That Chris Hansen's gone. Okay.
Ronbo, you don't, Ronbo, with the roster we have, Ronbo, hell, Christian McCaffrey alone in Carolina was a beast.
I know, right?
You don't add a talent like that to an already loaded roster.
Well,
and then go Rombo,
Yeah.
Rombo, any other coach is winning with this roster, and you know I'm not lying. Look at what they're doing with less. Like Rombo, this is ridiculous. I like
Yeah.
I like what John Lynch has done. He's brought his mentality. John Lynch, ladies and gentlemen, for the young people who don't know, he used to put people to sleep. Back when guys used to be able to hit people in football, he
Yep.
used to put people to sleep.
You'll get flagged for
John
that
Lynch
kind of
has,
hit now. John
yeah,
Lynch is
yeah, yeah.
brutal. I agree.
John Lynch brought a physical mentality to the 49ers that I thank him for. And that man is a very amazing GM. But Kyle Shanahan, Jed York, his father's didn't Mike Shanahan and Jed York's father, didn't they, somewhat work together at one point? So
Wait.
Kyle, they've been friends for a while, right?
Yeah. The Shanahans and who? York
The
family.
Yorks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. You know what? I don't know about that connection. I don't know if the York family. Kyle through his dad knows. Well, maybe. There you go. Kyle through his dad probably knows the York family because it goes way
Rombo.
back, right?
Yes, Rombo. 9 times out of 10, if yes.
Mm.
But Rombo, Kyle Shanahan, I can't say he hasn't done. He's done good, yes. But if he doesn't get the ring, Rombo, this is going to be looked at as probably the
Fail.
most disappointing coaching regime of all time.
Ah.
You don't get all of this talent at one time in their prime,
Yeah.
and you don't get it done, Rombo. It'll be looked at as the most disappointing coaching regime of all time if you can't get one done, Rombo. I'm sorry. With these players, Rombo, with
Okay,
like there's
but Jalen, I just want to add this though. When you look at all the teams, how many times have the Chiefs won the Super Bowl? You look at the Patriots, who's dominated down through the years. When teams don't stop 2 or 3 teams that keep winning the Super Bowl and taking turns in tag teaming, that means they're in the same boat with a lot of other teams, right? Look at the Cowboys. I mean, you look at around the team. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles have won one though. I got to take them out of that equation.
the Eagles won.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris Hansen,
Rombo,
the real Chris Hansen,
there's
make
no
a
Rombo.
post because
There's
I
no
don't want to think I'm
Rombo.
getting it wrong, Chris Hansen. Go ahead, Jalen.
Rombo, there's no reason for us to have lost those 2 Super Bowls. And even if you want to bring up this whole thing with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes being great, how the hell of all teams do we lose to the Rams in the NFC Championship? And the Chiefs aren't
Injury.
even waiting in the Rumble. The Chiefs weren't even waiting in the Super Bowl, though.
I know.
We've beaten the Rams worse than that before.
Remember, it was injury, mostly due to injury. And every
Rumble,
time we
no,
lose a big
everybody's
game,
in Rumble. Everybody's injured that late in the season. We
well,
ain't
the
going up
Rams,
in there looking like
the
powder
Ra-
cakes.
yeah, no, the Rams they had an offensive line that we didn't have an offensive line. That right side was dead meat. Jimmy Garoppolo's got his shoulder that's
Rumble.
bandaged up and a
We
hand
beat
that's
them,
out
Rumble. We
all the
beat them
time.
twice that season. So
I
how is
know.
that all of a sudden a problem?
The injuries were a little heavier. We've seen things that we didn't see the 49ers do all year long. And the Rams, you got to also remember, if even bad as we were playing offensively, had that catch been made and picked off, I mean, you know what? Things like that you
Rumble.
have
They
to
shouldn't even have
do.
gotten down the field. We don't talk about that with D'Amico Ryan, though. We fired Steve Wilkes, but we don't talk about how D'Amico Ryan couldn't stop them from marching down the field. We don't seem to ever talk about that, but but okay. Yes, Steve
No, I
Wilkes,
agree.
he was the problem. He was the problem in the Super Bowl. 10 points. Here's another thing, Rombo, with this whole punt thing with Ray McLeod with the time I got left. If the score is 28-0 and that punt happens, that muff happens, we don't even care.
I know.
But the simple fact that Kyle Shanahan had 10 points in that Super Bowl and that happened, that's the only reason why we said that shifted the momentum. If we got points on the board, we don't even care about that little hiccup, Rombo.
That's a good point. I can't argue.
But no, Ray, all you have to do is fall on the ball. If we had points on the board, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, I know. That game was tight. Super Bowls are usually kind of tight, though, Ray. I mean, Jalen. Now you got Ray on my mind. Jalen, they're usually pretty tight.
Rombo, You got the offensive player of the year on your team, Rombo. You had a MVP caliber quarterback. I get you trying to say that the games are tight and it's tough, but you don't get a roster like that, Rombo.
Maybe
The Chiefs shouldn't even have been there.
Oh, I know we had Jalen. I'm gonna see you Thursday night, and let's go ahead and see what happens.
We
in
need
the
an
draft.
offensive guard, Rombo.
Everybody knows
and
that.
a new head coach, or at least somebody who knows how to call.
You can't draft a coach.
Rombo. Jesus.
It's gonna be okay. I'll see you Thursday night. All right. Maybe something happens in the draft that'll cheer you up. All right. Jalen just walks off. I've known people like that really did that to me personally. I'm telling, where you going? Are you gonna be okay? No answer. Mr. Block Eye says NFC champs is nice, but that Super Bowl is a must. HBD to me. All of us feel the same way. You know, I just, you guys, if you play ball before, there's just things just happen. I mean, the poop happens, and you know what? Ellis?
Lombardi was happening.
Oh, there you are. Ellis, come on, I missed you the other day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The soundtrack. You heard the soundtrack in the background.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Some gangster shit. No, but look.
Hardcore was. I thought you were in the middle of the street fighting.
Man.
Is Ellis okay?
Hey. Yeah, everything's good, man. You know, what was that, Friday you said?
Yeah, we missed you Friday. Because we came back a couple times, and I figured you must have been tied up doing something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I was in the middle of all kind of teams, man. But
Chris Hansen
it's
doesn't
all great.
like
what we
the
doing,
young
man?
Montanan tribe.
Uh-huh.
I keep worrying about Chris Hansen doesn't like the young Montanan tribe, and he sure as hell wouldn't be talking about how the Rams own us. So that sounds. Chris Hansen, make a post, man, so I can know I didn't get you, because I'm not trying to get the real Chris Hansen. All right, go ahead, Ellis.
Hey, shout out Chris Hansen. That's he's good people's, man. That's if Chris is upset with the young Montana, that's because he's not a real Niner fan, and he comes in here talking and trying to befriend the chat, and then he's talking shit. If you can't tell that he's not a real Niner fan, then I forgive you for being naive.
Mm.
But
I'm worried. Chris is not making a post, and now I'm starting to wonder: did I block the wrong Chris Hansen? Okay, it'll work itself out. We'll find him. All right, go ahead, fan.
No, Chris. Yeah, they're our usual Chris Hansen. That's good people. So
yeah,
he's a Niner faithful. He's a Niner faithful. He's not a fraud like the
young Montana. Got several. He's got several accounts. Young Montana, I hope you're satisfied, you clown. You're in here ruining everything, causing me to get rid of the wrong person.
Yeah, block him.
Damn.
Block him, not Chris Hansen.
Get a life, you low-life piece of... Anyway, go ahead.
But, what we doing tonight? We talking about who...
You know what?
We're
looking at the 49ers, and since 2017, look at some of the players we've had. We're trying to make a judgment call on the 49ers. Are you appreciative of what they've done down through the years? Or is there things that you really wish we could really make a change? Because anything you would say, anything negative would include a change of regime. I'm wondering if anybody's gotten to that point yet.
I wouldn't say we need a change of regime. We just need somebody a little. We need somebody more accountable. I have not heard anybody until it seems like after I've been talking about lack of accountability on Kyle Shanahan's behalf. Now I hear, it more than ever that Kyle Shanahan is, he's egotistical. He takes no responsibility, and I said, you can mirror him to Jimmy Garoppolo as far as, with that issue and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He is a part of the problem. Kyle is a part of the problem. Who do we blame on not having a quarterback? Who do we blame on not securing the most important position from the origination of these two gentlemen being a part of the organization? Do we blame that on John? Absolutely not. Kyle Shanahan said we don't need a quarterback. Well, John wanted to start with the defense. I'm sure that he was very instrumental in that being the focus. However, I bet that Kyle was the one saying, well, we don't need to worry about a quarterback. I can go get Brian Hoyer. We can draft a quarterback in the 3rd round. We can, get all of these.
Get Kirk Cousins next year. Yeah.
We can get all these replacements, and just be okay with that. And that would suffice, which that proved to be a total whiff of a process in itself or lack thereof. So, if we're saying who's in first and who's in last, I would say John's in first, and Kyle would have to be behind him. It's evident because the most important position was not secured due to Kyle's negligence in thinking that he's going to for him to think that he was going to secure Kirk Cousins is arrogant in itself and naive as it gets, because it's like you don't run shit, and Kirk Cousins doesn't either. He's going to go for the money. He's not going to go just to be with you. Kyle was thinking, oh, Kirk's going to come and quarterback for me. It's like, nah, dude, I'm going to where the money is at, and that's what the hell he did.
They had money then. Remember, they would have signed Kirk, but you know what? The owner of the Washington team hated Kyle and his father
Minnesota?
so bad. Yeah, he wasn't about to deal with the 49ers. Anyway, I thought about that even then.
So Kirk, I thought Kirk wasn't already on Minnesota?
Wasn't he? He was still with the Browns on his way somewhere, and he ended up in Minnesota, as I remember.
You mean the Redskins?
Yeah. Yeah, Kirk was still in Washington at that time. He wasn't in Minnesota yet. He was on his way to Minnesota immediately that following year, though. You were talking about the 2018.
Okay.
We're talking about 2018, remember?
So then that's when he got – okay. Well, At the end of the day, it's like every year, if you're smart, you know that you go look for a quarterback. He chose not to scout. That was a total, he just blew it. He fucking blew it. We had a lot of first-round picks. We had a lot of second-round picks.
Well, we had money, too.
I mean, we had plenty of real estate. We had plenty of everything. We had plenty of capital on both ends, draft and financially. And Kyle decided to not go for what was gold in the most important position.
Mahomes was in that draft, by the way, too.
and so was Deshaun. So was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. So, yeah. But you know what? With the Deshaun Watson situation had blown up in Santa Clara, had he come to us, with Mahomes is straight up safe. Yeah. But I don't know. They got a lot of great.
The women. They got some badder chicks in Texas than they do in San Francisco.
You think so? The Bear massage.
I don't think he would have had that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he would have had that much of a trouble out there. But that we'll put that on the we'll put that on the females though, and not on Deshaun for the as far as what I mean. Come on, man! Like, come on, y'all.
Professional, you got to know better. Bring him to your house, Deshaun.
You got plenty of money.
Oh.
Hey man, look, he's got plenty of money. I don't know what was going on, but the money grabs are the money grabs, and that seems to be quite the more popular angle to take, and it's been happening for a long time. But you still got to be on top of your business. He should have got him, a lady, just a nice lady with some class. He could have got when you got all that money, man. You could get a doctor. You can get a doctor. You can get a physicist, somebody with a nice, good-looking bad one who's got a really nice career.
You didn't see his lady. She stood behind him, but his lady is fine as can be. Deshaun just blew that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, them teenage hormones were still pumping in his 20s. Huh?
Stupid.
You're supposed to get that out your system early, but
that kind of career, you got to be careful. You're a celebrity. Anyway.
Man, we'll be all right, man. Look, the draft. When is the draft? Is it next weekend?
No, it's coming up Thursday.
Oh shit! Well, it's damn near the weekend. All right. Well, hey man,
you won't miss it.
Look forward to this draft.
Yes.
Look, and if Brandon Ayuk is a last minute trade, if it ain't for that 5th round pick, from the Chargers, like that guy was just simulating and forecasting just some imaginary stuff. Yeah. Look, they would take the 5th overall pick. Let's not get it twisted. If we were offered the 5th overall pick and that was it, we would take it.
They take it because they now
100%. That's the equivalent of a king's ransom.
Yeah,
well, look, you could trade. You could go back 5 spots, get a wide receiver, and get a lineman and a couple of players. That's what I'm saying. I would milk the cow. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. Yeah. Shout out to you both. Thank you for the platform as always.
You're so welcome. I appreciate you,
shout out production, man. Miss y'all, man, and I hope everybody's doing well. And it's getting hotter over here in Cali, baby. It's getting hot, man. So
it's summer's gonna be
a hot summer.
Yep, you can tell already.
Yeah, so y'all be safe, man. Shout out to the chat. Y'all know what it is. Shout out Papa D. Shout out Frank, Donut, Tanisha. Shout out Emilio and Bethel. Shout out Tony Tone, and the rest of the squad. Y'all know what it is, man. And in the chat, hit them likes and subscribe. You know where you at, and
All right, Ellis. Shout out to the squad.
We'll
see you Thursday.
Dust yourself off, man. Right. Dust yourself off, man. You're looking dusty in the chat, man. So clean yourself up before you come in here. All right, let's go. Yes, sir.
All right, fam. Have a great night, Ellis.
Peace. Yes, sir. You too.
I just realized Chris Hansen, if we get rid of that Chris Hansen, he takes the real Chris Hansen with him, doesn't he? According to what YouTube is looking at. Damn it. What do with that? Chris is going to have to change his name. No, the dude will do that too. Young Montana, man, Man. 49er Brian, come on in, man.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I'm just a little. Usually I don't get mad. I just get rid of, right? Now, you know what? What is this?
I do with the ladies.
How much of a jerk do you have to be to take out time from? You're not a 49er fan anymore, if you ever were, and you're gonna go back in with people who gave you a hard time and just wreak havoc every time. To me, that is weak.
I believe that's their goal in the end, is it not?
Yeah, sounds like. We'll have to work around it.
Yeah.
And you know what we could do? Everybody could just block them. And
that's what I do.
And then they don't have any energy. Then they can't feed off of you. What?
Nah, they're just trolls.
Yeah, my 49ers HBD fam, don't interrupt my dude, please. Mr. Black Eyes, thanks. Yeah, yeah, guys, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, army fashion, just block young Montana. But Chris Hansen, you can't block Chris. It's still difficult.
And block Ramilia. He's a piece of crap too.
That's the other. Young Montana's got several accounts. I have a feeling because he is that kind of a troll. So
Marketing Pro, we love you. We like having you around. We'll keep you.
Yeah, the Marketing Pro's hilarious. I've got no problem with him, and he's not vicious. And he doesn't go around cloning everybody.
And he's usually intoxicated, so we'll let that slide.
Nobody calls in drunk. That's fun.
Rombo.
Anyway,
what do you want to talk about, my friend? I'm not the biggest. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest draft guy. Because I'm always wrong. I don't want to be like Big Show. Always wrong.
You know what, Big Show? I always give him credit now. Ever since he told me about Fred Warner, and I was sitting there, he says, "Well, there's Fred Warner."
Yeah.
And who? I was thinking, who is Fred Warner? Brigham Young. Why do I want a football player for Brigham Young for? And now look.
But we always get show on both, so don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, we get shit on both.
He wanted that guy.
I love Big Show. I'm just kidding. I like messing with the guys.
No, certain guys they're just special. We gotta treat them all kind of ways because we know them. They're family.
Oh yeah.
But Brian, I'm wondering your feeling on, and I know you're positive. You and Phil, myself, and others, we don't really look at the 49ers harshly because we're grateful for what's taken place in the last 6 years. Now, some of the kids don't put up with it because there's been no Super Bowl, and they feel like a change is necessary to be made in order to achieve that Super Bowl they so want so badly. We want it as badly as well, but we've seen enough to know the change in regime can be also a detriment to any forward progress. You got to be careful when you're doing that. Yeah.
You can't, because, no matter how many times Kyle has made mistakes, Kyle, you cannot say that he has not changed or turned around this franchise to become a winning franchise every year that he's been here.
We were toilet water.
I don't care. I just don't care. I love being in the Super Bowl and getting there and trying to win one every time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it gets old not winning them. But, hey, I'd rather take the ladder and not be like the Rams and all these other teams that are just chomping at the bit and can never get there,
But, Brian, do you remember, though, that game? I remember they showed the outside. They filmed. We just lost to the Jets. And this guy was walking along. He was talking to himself really loud. And then he stopped, just started having a fit. We lost to the bleeping Jets! The Jets! And the cameras, people are walking around. He's scaring other 49er fans that are walking by him. He lost it. And the camera, whoever was filming that, was just watching him. I said, my God, we're in the dark ages. How do we get
I love
out?
my 49ers.
God.
I love my 49ers, but I don't get that, crazy. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, there's other things in life to worry about, but True. Man, I tell you, I'm just so happy that we're a team that's always in the hunt every year, because
you got to be there.
Ronbo, you know how bad we've been.
Oh yeah,
for so long,
off and on.
And these young ones
was really bad.
These young ones don't understand. They weren't there. They were like sucking on pacifiers and stuff when all this was going on.
But you know what? The youngest ones also have been there when Tom Sula and Chip Kelly were running things. How bad was that? That's as bad as it ever was,
God.
Oh, man. There was no... I knew before the game started we were going to get beat. And we did.
Hey, Justin, I'm right here. I'm talking. Get off the cricket and get your T-Mobile working, buddy.
Brian works for T-Mobile.
Oh, yeah. But
anyway,
Ronbo, I know this BA stuff is going to be over soon, hopefully. And I don't know. Do you think he's going to get traded? Big Show sure hopes he gets traded.
Well, Vegas has got you can win money. If Vegas is running odds, which I'm shocked, I don't. If I had to bet, I would put a C note down at least on. Nah, I don't think so.
I just think he's too valuable to Brock Purdy. Do you not think that?
I agree. And Brock Purdy needs that at this point in his career, and definitely does.
Like I told you, I think we need to unload Debo next year if he doesn't have a good year. Ship him. I'm serious.
Really, I agree. I think Debo, especially if he gets injured like he does this year, out every 2-3 weeks, they've got to at least visit that thought.
Yeah, he better have a good year, or I'm out on route or on Debo. I don't have the patience for him anymore.
I know I cannot see Juwan Jennings leaving and Debo staying. If Debo's give me 6 or 7 games, and not give me that much production as it is, that would really bother me, because CMC kind of ruined Debo's game. Because now I go to CMC more than I do Debo. Debo's running a lot of plays, similar plays that CMC was getting all of, right? So,
and do we really need Debo? Is he a necessity anymore?
I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that it may incriminate me. It's a good question, though, and I realize that. I don't like to ask myself that kind of question, but I've asked myself that before. Scared myself.
Well, I just think Brandon Ayuk is a better player than Debo. I really do.
For that job, a wide receiver, he needs to be able to run routes and get loose.
And I think Juwan Jennings is a better player than Debo, hands down.
He's already,
you know what I love what Juwan does? As soon as he catches that ball, he throws his opponent or whoever who's on him
into
their balance off. It's like he wins them right out of his way.
Gets him in that long range, grabs his face and throws him out of the street. That's
and throws their own momentum against them. I just love watching when he does that.
That's what he does.
And Debo does not. Debo just runs into people, and that's how he gets hurt.
True.
Drives me crazy.
And teams have gotten hip to that. They know when Debo's coming around that corner now. Did you see how many times teams set up to combat that move last year?
I think teams are just on to Debo. What he's doing. And it's the same. They throw the ball one way, Debo goes the other. It doesn't work anymore. I don't see him busting the moves like he used to. You know what I mean?
He rarely gets.
I don't know.
But you know what? We're blaming the wrong people. Maybe the offensive line could be a little more assertive.
Maybe.
He could get loose. I don't know. Man, it's a tough call.
I'm sorry. Justin's mad at me. I called him out. He's crying in the chat. I'll apologize to you, Justin. Sorry to hurt your feelings.
Justin, you're
Ronbo,
right.
we all have feelings. No, man. I just wish the best for our 49ers every year. Yes, I appreciate you saying I'm positive because I am. I just believe in this team, and every year we're in the hunt, and I just don't get all caught up in the hate of Kyle. I just don't understand any of that, or I don't know who would we replace Kyle with.
That's always my question. That's always my question.
And no one ever has. And don't say, well, we need Bill Belichick. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break about Bill Belichick.
Call Robert Kraft and ask him about Bill Belichick, That's what's funny right now. But Robert Kraft has no business saying bad things about Belichick. But Robert Kraft actually, the rumor is he called Atlanta and told, listen, you should stay away from Bill Belichick. And they didn't even ask Bill for any Kraft for any information. I feel bad about that.
I keep hearing that Brady wants to come to us again. Brady comes up every year and he's never here.
Brady's
just a joke.
He's just kidding. He says
Ronbo,
he's going to own part
I
of the
should have been a
Raiders
weatherman or a sports writer. Then I could lie about stuff and get paid for it. Dang.
We got to go, Brian. I'm going to work on that career and do it as a side job.
I will.
I'll see you Thursday after the draft.
And Marketing Pro, I hope you call in, buddy. I want to hear your drunken voice tonight. Be fun. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Love you, Ronbo.
Brian. Love you back, fam. Good night, Brian.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mr. Black Eye says, no, fam, that 49ers HBD song, you promised me. Oh, hey, Mr. Black Eyes. Was that? Well, I said I'm going to do that today, right? Isn't your birthday today? Or was it your mom? I thought I sang a song for somebody and their mom. Oh, that's right. I sang for your mom, and now your mom's birthday was the other day, and your birthday's coming up tomorrow. Mr. Black Eyes, my apologies. You're right. It just hit me like a rock. Happy. Wait a minute. Happy Niners birthday to Mr. Black Eyes. Happy Niners birthday. Getting ready for another draft where we go pick up nothing but the best and studs. Happy Niners. Mr. Black Eyes, I can't believe that I didn't make a note of that. Happy birthday, my man. And to Mom, too, an extra happy birthday since you had her just a little while. What are the odds of you being born just a little bit after your mom? That must have been a joyful day, huh? Happy birthday, fam. And let's get down to the land down under. Tony, I'm glad you came in for this show. This is funny because you and Jalen. Yes. Tony, I'm so glad you made this show because the fact of the matter is you and Jalen, I hate to laugh because Jalen's really in pain, But, Tony, you have seen good 49er teams, and you don't need to feel as bad as Jalen, who's just a kid and just wants to see the parade. He can't see the parade.
I don't blame him.
So I feel bad, him and Big Show. But, Tony,
I don't blame him.
Well, no, of course not. I don't. I got all the sympathy in the world for him. Hopefully we'll get it. But, Tony,
I hope it's a load of horseshit, Ronbo.
You got to make things happen. Don't be hoping. You got to do it. I heard that ever since I was a kid. Don't believe in luck. I'm telling you right now, you get your ass in motion to make it happen. Okay, all right. So, heard it.
I mean, did you hear what Jim Harbaugh said the other day, Ronbo?
About what?
You see that clip?
No, I'm not. Which
one? About the about the most important playing group on the team. Now, that guy's got his head screwed on the right way.
No, Harbaugh's a
unlike
brilliant
our
man.
coach.
No, he's a brilliant coach.
Yeah.
He just has a shelf life that wears off on players. But listen, which one clip are you talking about? What was a top group that he feels? Did he say in the trenches, right?
He did mention the trenches, but he mentioned that the most important playing group that everyone relies on,
offensive line,
to win a game is the offensive line.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, I did hear that. I've been. We all know this. That's not rocket science. I don't. We neglect.
I mean, we've
that
been screaming for an offensive line on your show since 2015.
Yeah. I know.
You know what I mean? So I don't think we're going to win a Super Bowl until we address that problem.
Tony, do you know last year's offensive line? Not this past year, and I'm not sure what they. The year before last, we were ranked in the top 10 in offensive lines, and few of us appreciated it. Before Michael Glenchie left.
I mean,
there's a lot of raggedy offensive lines out there.
I heard someone say that McKivitz was okay or whatever. The guy allowed 47 pressures on the quarterback. Right? You got a rugby league player at the Eagles who never allowed one sack.
That's a good player. Oh, and he's on the right side.
You know what I mean? And this guy's all right, is he? You know, 8 or 10 sacks he allowed and 47 pressures. I mean, come on, man. Look, the way I see it in my book is everyone watches the game and we look at the mistakes, all right, that were made. Like, for example, Bill Walsh used to say, if the ball comes loose, don't try and do any heroics, just dive on the ball.
Ray McLeod.
All right?
Damn it.
That was his... He always said that. Just dive on the ball. Don't try and pick it up and run. Don't just dive on the ball. All right? That way we've got the ball. Guaranteed.
The ball. That's it. You learn that in high school football. Pop Warner.
Now, we look at things like that and we go, this lost the game, that lost the game. I look at the game and I say to myself, well, when could the game have been shut down? And it could have been shut down if the offensive line held up. Brandon Ayuk was in the goal in the end zone.
No, you had two guys. Yeah. That was Jawan Jennings running toward the goal. He was by himself. He'd already beaten his man. And Brandon Ayuk was running around there as if there were nobody on the field except for him. There was nobody around him. Our guy can't see. He can't see. He's so busy worrying about Chris Brown coming in like a huge cannonball. Hang.
End of game. Correct?
Yes.
So keep telling yourselves that the offensive line is not important and we'll just be talking crap on Rombo's show and venting for the next 10 years.
Well, Pete Carroll did that too with Russell Wilson. He figured Russell can get the hell out of the way. He wasn't worried about that anyway. He just wanted to run the ball and play defense. Russ is just,
I mean, someone said the other day, I should have got Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's part of the Bill Walsh tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, some of these other guys, previous caller, said, not Bill Belichick. He's got the wins on the board. You can't knock him for that.
No. Anybody talks about Belichick's got to be kidding me. He may be a lot of things, but he's not a bad coach.
You know what I mean? Like, the way he is with the media, I like it. I like it because why should you tell our guys sit there and expose themselves? Yeah, we've got to do. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're preparing this way. Man. Shut up, mate. What are you doing? Belichick just tells them one-word answers.
Belichick just mumbles.
Why should I tell you what we're doing and how we're preparing? Who are you?
or you discourage them by just doing what Belichick with every answer. What? Belichick just up there because he'll get fined if he doesn't show up for those press conferences. But he doesn't speak English. He's just speaking something that he made up and just mumbles it out. And you know he's not going to repeat it. So if I'm a reporter, I'm not going to ask him again. So, you know,
I mean,
Belichick's good.
Let's see. This is what I'm focusing on, you know, apart from the 49ers. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see in 2 years what Jim Harbaugh can do with. Where's he at? The Chargers?
Yeah, he's at the Chargers.
Okay, let's see what he can do with the Chargers in 2 years. And if he wins a Super Bowl in 2 years, mate, with the teams that we've had at our disposal, Kyle Shanahan should hang his head in shame.
He probably will. He probably will.
You know what I mean? Like I said, Ronbo, like, yeah, I just want to go up to him and give him a bitch slap and say, listen, brother, you there's a pattern forming here. Do you not see it? You've lost 3 Super Bowls exactly the same way. Mate, just focus on your offensive line. You can win a Super Bowl with a top 10 defense. All right? You can do it.
Probably.
The Chiefs have proven it. A lot of, you know.
Oh, so
but
God,
if you protect your quarterback, and this guy's got time to throw, 3 seconds, is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, actually.
1,
Yes.
2, 3.
No,
Is that too much? 3 seconds too much to ask for?
That's too long, Tony. Yeah, for our guys. Especially all they go.
And
that door on the right side is always open. They don't bother Trent Williams. Trent Williams takes a few plays every game, but they're coming around that other side, right and left. Premier pass rushers. Why would I bother with Trent Williams when I can go over here and work this guy on the right side? You know, but the quarterback can actually see you coming on the right side a little bit.
Exactly. Newsflash, Ronbo. Do you think the tactics of the other teams is going to change in 2024?
No, that's why
They're still going to go down the right-hand side. If these guys don't address the right-hand side, all right, they're still going to attack the right-hand side of our team, our offensive line. It's going to be the same shit
Tony
all over again.
Maybe McKivitz gets better. I'm just keeping my hope on that. But we got to stop though, Tony.
Ronbo, stop hoping. Stop
I know you just told me about that before we started talking. I can't be bothered and worried all the time about McKivitz because it bothers me.
Well, mate, there's an old saying that everybody knows: actions speak louder than words. Stop hoping. We don't need hope. We need action.
I know. We need the right side. Hopefully, not hopefully, but maybe. I'm just going to think that maybe.
The most ridiculous thing in my mind is I say to myself, if we had a ferocious offensive line like in previous years, all right, we'd probably win the next 2 Super Bowls. No problem at all. Back to back.
This is the mistake that they made. Dallas had one of the most incredible offensive lines in NFL history a few years ago when Dak first came into the league. And they made Dak and Zeke look like, rookie stars. And that's how good an offensive line, that's a big difference the offensive line can make. And the next year, that line started started gradually turning into everybody else's offensive line. And now look at Dak. He can't get paid any further. So you're right. It comes down to your protection.
And then the other guys were talking about Debo. You need that offensive line to unleash Debo.
I agree. And you'll never catch me talking too long about Debo. I understand. I don't want to lose Juwan Jennings, but I sure as hell would like to keep Debo as well. Tony, let me see you after Thursday. We'll see you after the draft.
When's the draft? 27th or something. Isn't that wrong?
Yeah, it's going to be Friday, your time. Thursday, U.S. time. East Coast, 8 o'clock. Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah, well, we're either going to be happy or we're going to be sad.
We're going to be like we always are. Well, we're going to question it. Every year I question free agency and the draft. Well, why'd you pick him up? Every time they make a move, why'd you pick him up? And then later on, I find out they've been right a few times, actually. But Howie over in Philadelphia is going to pick the best picks. I already know it.
Yeah, they've been right a lot of times, but not for the offensive line.
No, I know. Like you say, it's priority 3, 4, 5, maybe down to top 10. Anyway.
Yeah, well.
All right. Tony, see you
All
Thursday.
right, brother.
All right.
No worries, mate. Shout out to Evan Ellis, Big Show, Papa Dragon, the rest of the mob.
Yes, indeed.
Keep your chin up, boys and girls, and let's see what Chokerhand puts us through this time around in the draft.
And remember, we don't have Adam Peters, so there's more things to worry about. Anyway, we're going to be fine. All right, Tony. See you in a minute.
Brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You know, there's so many things that could concern you and bring you down. I try to keep it upbeat because I really hate getting depressed about the 49ers. And having had to happen to us, what just happened to us in this last Super Bowl, doesn't add to anything but misery, you know?
Yo, Ronbo, what a do, player. That was a good shot right there.
But you know what? I just want to say this though about I was watching NFL Network and the Rams were on. My left remote too far away from me and I couldn't turn it off when they started talking about the Rams. But you know what? I like Matthew Stafford. I like his 2 little girls. And I like his family. I like Matthew Stafford after watching that
Matthew
special.
And that's a good thing because Matthew Dime Stafford is from the Joe Montana tree. You know, there's certain greatness like Tom Brady, Matthew Dime Stafford, Joe Cool Montana. These guys got ice in their veins, man. Like Joe Cool telling, Harris Barton in the Super Bowl when he was throwing up in that huddle, they got to go 93 yards. They got a minute. He goes, chill out, man. I got this. Look, John Candy, second row. Matthew Dime Stafford. Super Bowl's on the line. Super Bowl's on the line. Hey, chill out, Roscoe. The dog pound ready been. No, the dog pound ready.
That dog
this
is
cat's
listening
ready.
to that.
This
said,
cat.
what is he talking about? Bark at him.
Chill out,
bite
man.
him.
I think he's a 49er fan. I have a suspicion, but I'm not sure.
I understand. Stafford's got a lot of guts. I give him credit for it, and he's fearless. I must give it to him because that's why some of the INTs are as high as they are. I have more respect for him than I do Dak because Dak looked right at the defender and throw him the ball. So I've never actually seen Stafford do that.
Well, let me tell you, Matthew Dime Stafford's like Rocky Balboa. You know what I'm saying? Running in Philly, just with his hands up. When he runs up the stairs, Dak. Pick Scott's kind of like Glass Joe from Iron Mike Tyson's Punch Out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that cat is the last guy you want in the playoffs on your side because he's on the other side.
I give him credit. He's okay. He's not. I never hated Stafford anyway, but after watching him and his family, and he's going to the mom's got him taking the kids to the basketball practice, and he's holding this little girl and comforting her because she's upset because she can't get whatever play the coach is trying to run on the basketball floor. I was like, Stafford, you're all right, man. So I ain't mad at him no more. I never was really mad at him anyway. I just didn't appreciate y'all beating us at one time.
Yeah, because, he kind of reminds you of, like, you know what I'm saying, Joe Montana, Tom Brady. That's why you can't be mad at him. I get you. I get you, Ronbo. I get it.
I don't know about all that, but, I mean, I like him. Yeah. So listen, you know what, you guys, what are you going to do for the draft? I mean, you guys got anything?
Well, here's the vision marketing pro and his organization and sources have. Sean, the genius McVay. What he's going to do, he's going to win the draft again like he did last year. That was just genius, wasn't it? The way Sean McVay won that game, rolling the dice, won that draft.
Wait. Did you guys win the draft last year?
Oh, we were the best. That was one of the greatest drafts in NFL history. The Rams pulled it off. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got Puka Mania, you know what I mean? Running wild like Hulkamania, you know what I'm saying? Puka Nakua, the new nightmare. Then we got Kobe, the conductor, Turner. We got the Great Wall of L.A., Steve Avila. Y'all need to take notes. Look up that cat, Steve Avila. He's the new What's that big guy on your team, man? I'm kind of buzzing right now. What's that big guy?
Trent Williams.
Trent, yeah, big Trent. That's the new. I mean, Trent Williams is looking at Steve and be like, "Damn, he's a lot better than me when I was a rookie." That's the next Trent Williams right there, Steve Avila. I'm letting the crowd know. And Nikita, my dog's a pit bull. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Roscoe.
Well, yeah.
She was asking me in the chat. But hey, man, Ronbo, we're gonna play. I got some. You heard it here first, so you better write this down. Kyle Shanahan and Tom Brady are talking.
About what?
And while, Big Show and, shout out to Big Show, he's kind of got the Rams fan logic, you know what I mean? But, and the shout out to Papa Dragon. They ain't talking about this, but you know who is? Marketing Pro, because I know the score from the Big Apple to the Big Orange.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady already said, my phone is open for calls for contenders. Tom Brady picked football over his Giselle. He picked football over Giselle. Just write that down.
Well, then
he wants to come back because
Giselle was hanging out with the trainer a little too often. But listen, Brady is going to own the Raiders, and that's pretty much going to be. Tom's not going anywhere.
And by the way, Tom Brady. Let me tell you what's going on in Tom Brady's mind. He's ultra competitive. He saw Mahomes get another Super Bowl, and he's like, he's going to keep creeping up to me. I need to come back and get another one.
6.
And guess what? You know what would be a beautiful story?
What?
Kyle can't get it done. And I asked Kyle, hey,
get him, Roscoe. Get him.
Hey. I really have a suspicion he's a 49er fan.
Yeah, I can see
I think he's a 49er fan. Hey, easy, buddy, easy. But, let me get back to what I was about to say. This dog, I think he might be a 49er fan. I'm not sure.
No doubt in my mind. Every time you say something bad about the 49ers, he tunes in.
Yeah. Hey, but by the way, let me tell you, Tom Brady, I'm giving you the why of Tom Brady, the why he's coming back. Mahomes creeping up on him, and he's feeling himself. He actually thinks he can pass Brady. I'm telling you right now. Because he's already talking about a three-peat. I don't know if you heard him talk about it.
Oh, they were talking about it.
Listen, he goes, three-peat is really, yeah. So Tom Brady's like, oh no, you're not taking my spot. So guess what? What does Tom Brady see in San Francisco? A stacked roster, and Tom Brady's aware Kyle's going to draft, while assuming from Ronbo Sports and your experts, offensive line, right?
I tell you what, there's no promise about that. I don't know what they're going to do with that offensive line. They're going to draft somebody. I hope he's good.
You can look it up. Tom Brady's on my phone's open for contenders. You already said it.
No, I read the article. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So guess what? Kyle Shanahan
as a backup
does not want to become what's his name? The Bills coach. What was his name? Marv Levy. He ain't trying. He's not trying to go. And you don't want to go back to Super Bowl, lose another one too. Keep it real.
No. I didn't want to lose this one. Scared me to death, and then the unreal happened. So yeah.
I'll just say this. So the refs they threw some shady calls at the Niners in that Super Bowl. That Trent Williams holding call, that was kind of suspect, man, because the Chiefs were doing the same thing, and then you saw Kyle, Sean, the Genius McVay's little brother, like, hey, I know you called the call on Trent, but they're doing the same thing. So
as 49er fans, we're kind of used to that, but we usually can pull things off. Now, it was funny because the Green Bay Packers and also the Detroit Lions, they were whipping our ass from first quarter to fourth quarter, but that last year showed some character the 49ers haven't shown. They didn't lose those games. Now, they did find a way to lose the Super Bowl, so I guess that ran out. But, we'll be fine.
I'll tell you right now, Tom Brady, if he was in that Super Bowl, you win by 3 touchdowns.
No, I know.
That game's over in the third.
I know.
That game is over in the third. Tom Brady murders the Chiefs.
And did last time.
I'm saying that to say what? I'm saying this to say what? Tom Brady is a freaking alien. That guy's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That dude, he's been in that lab cooking cooking up something. He's like, he's seen visions of him, because Tom Brady used to wear Joe Montana's jersey for Halloween when he was a kid. There's pictures of him.
And you know what? The men in black are looking for him too. Like you say, he's not from this world. Marketing Pro, it's we got to go though. And if you got time,
but here's the thing: Tom Brady will start for the 49ers this year. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the Rams Nation and that Cringe Everett in there. That's not the real one, okay? And I know the real Ramilia, and I know the real Jim. That's not that guy.
I'm just sorry that
that's cringe.
Chris Hansen, if you're watching, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to block you tomorrow or whenever you show up again. If you do,
Cringe Everett's only friend is a shadow, and they don't even talk to him.
The young Montana. I know this is him. Some of the posts are just like him. The guy is sick.
Well, here's what you call him from now on: Young Jim Kelly, because he's a loser.
I like that. Hey, Mike, I gotta go. Maybe I'll see you Thursday. If you
shout out, Sean McVay, Bill Walsh reincarnated. Take notes.
Okay, I got it. Tony ATL.
This guy's had one too many drinks. I put it in the chat. A bunch of liquor.
You got to get him.
As usual.
As my uncle used to make me laugh so hard, telling my other uncle, because my uncle would come in like Marketing Pro talking trash, and my uncle loved baseball, and he'd sit there and talk. You weren't even listening, he's still talking. Hey, you listen to me? Let me tell you one thing. That boy can throw a slider. Like, he's going on and on. And my uncle would look over, you need to drink single malt liquors, because you ain't making no sense. Single malt liquors. You know what's so funny? I really liked my Uncle Willie. I grew up thinking the same thing. Stick to single malt liquors, and you'll be better off. There is something to that. But Tony, we're not here to talk malt liquors. We're talking about evaluating the 49ers. You know what? This links right to you in Atlanta too, because the fact of the matter is, Kyle Shanahan wasn't running the whole team, but he was your OC. Well, there ever times you questioned what was going on there? And did you appreciate the entire time Shanahan was in there?
All I know is that Ronbo, the 2016 season was like a love affair. There was no way I thought we was going to lose until we stopped running the ball. I keep going back to it.
But you had a good quarterback,
though. Y'all would have lost the NFC Championship game if Detroit had kept running the ball.
I know.
Buffalo would have beat KC if they hadn't stopped running the ball.
Because Buffalo had a good running, but Cook was good too. He was doing a great job.
They had 186 yards rushing.
The Chiefs
they outrushed Kansas City. They started throwing.
The Chiefs had a problem stopping the run.
Yes. So, I think though that fumble by the rookie when he fumbled in his own territory and y'all got the ball scored quickly, I think Detroit panicked and they started throwing after that.
But like Ian says, the worst Super Bowl choke ever. That was just, you guys have the game. Finish it. No.
Yeah.
You got to go to overtime.
But Ronbo, there's a lot of good talent here. I saw your mock, and I was, commenting in the chat where I had guys rank when Show was talking.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good pick with Show, like that Tyler Dubin, the safety from Minnesota, out of the University of Minnesota. I got him as a second-round grade, too, the second-best safety in the draft. So I got my board is complete here by each position. Me and Texas boy was going back and forth because he was talking about that wide receiver, out of Texas. No, it was the not the wide receiver.
Are you talking about
running back?
Talking about Big Show?
Brooks. No, talking about Texas boy.
Oh, Texas boy had a whole lot of them because they need a running back.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of the running backs from Texas, the wide receivers from Texas. I'm like, the running back from Texas is not the great. I had him as the second best running back in the draft. I got him going in the second round, Jonathan Brooks. Texas boy, that's why you don't know nothing about football. I said, excuse my French, Ronbo. I said, numb nuts. I had him as the second highest. What are you talking about? Because he had him as the highest. He said I said he was no good, and I had him at the second highest. How's he no good? I didn't say he wasn't no good.
Yeah, he just doesn't rank him as high as Texas boy, right? See, because like, in this case, you can only rank players because their ranking's going to change once they get to the NFL. Whether it be good or bad has yet to be determined. They got to carry that ball and let us know what you look like then. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Ronbo, you still don't know offensive line or defensive line. You still, I know you're leaning toward defensive line.
No, I know that's what the 49ers are going to do. And you know what? Jay Tan says.
And I heard an interesting scenario. Y'all talking about trading up with the Chargers. That would be a good move.
That's not going to
They
happen.
wanted Brandon Ayuk.
Tony,
remember the Chargers drafted the wide receiver in the first round last year, the Johnson kid out of TCU. And he started coming on late in the year. That's why I knew Williams was going to be gone, and they got rid of Keenan Allen. So who knows what might happen if the Niners and the Chargers aren't talking.
Well, see, that would be a surprise. And that's more like the 49ers because the Steelers are the ones that are getting all the attention. Oh, the Steelers are making a deal. Steelers are around telling people they can get Ayuk for next to nothing. I said, no, man, I don't think so.
But that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. You at least got to get like a switch picks and get their second round pick in this year. I would try to get their second and their third. Y'all want Ayuk? Give me your second and your third this year.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye. Hang up the phone.
Yeah, no, and have him call back. Okay, look, man, I was just about to answer the question before you hung up the phone. If he calls back, that means he's ready to take a deal, or else he doesn't pick that phone back up. So, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
and,
William Roberts says the Chargers. Wait, Tony, do the Chargers need a receiver? I thought. Who do they have?
They got that kid Johnson from the first round last year out of TCU, because they let Williams go and they traded Keenan Allen. So right now they got him. They picked up Austin Hooper at tight end because they starting tight end Everett go. So they're going to draft the receiver, the Chargers. I don't know if it's going to be the first round or the second round.
Okay,
to go with that kid Johnson.
Because Tony, that tells me they were shedding salary. They got rid of those prime receivers they had. Those guys are good. They got rid of them because they didn't want to pay them.
Yeah, because they still had Mack. Remember, because I thought that Khalil Mack or possibly Joey Bosa might be gone, but they both of them restructured their contracts to stay.
Oh, so they came around.
That's why they're still there.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't sound like Harbaugh. Harbaugh used to love. I mean, Harbaugh works on defensive line as hard as John Lynch does, to be honest. So, yeah, so that was a little strange to me anyway when I heard about that. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but we're 4 days away. I still like that Byron Murphy kid, but I don't think we're going to be able to get him the defensive tackle from Texas who reminds me of Grady Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to get him.
Well, you guys
can't get everybody.
Yeah, but where are you drafting at in the order?
The top edge rusher in the draft, Dallas Turner, pick 8th. The outside linebacker from Alabama.
You're picking 8th? You don't think you have a shot at him at the eighth spot? Actually, if he's that good, though, he's not going to last to 8.
Byron Murphy's not going to go that high. That's why, the defensive tackle. He'll go like mid to late first round. And Dallas Turner is the top edge rusher. He's the top on my board. You got him, Jared Verse out of Florida State. Latu, I know you heard of him out of UCLA. A lot of Falcons fans like Latu because he's a little bigger, but give me Dallas Turner. He got all the tools. Plus, Dallas Turner could drop in the coverage.
Oh.
Rush the passer.
You know, that used to be a thing that, what's his name, used to do in Washington, but he didn't have any of that stuff when he came to us. Somebody said it's reported he had a neck issue going on, but, I don't know. I don't really care about my pass rushers being able to drop back in coverage. It seems to defeat the purpose of even having him. I need for him to set the edge, and I need him to go get that quarterback. As far as pass coverage, I hate that when they send those big guys back in pass coverage.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of scheme you're running.
3 shows back, I was trying to think when I was talking about y'all drafted a Duke player in the first round. Y'all didn't draft a Duke player, offensive lineman, in the first round. He was drafted by Detroit, and y'all picked him up as a free agent after his first contract. It was Laken Tomlinson. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
He came from Duke.
And also, they considered Laken a bust, and the 49ers said they can do something with him, And they did. Laker Tomlinson
And they did.
never
Made
got
him a
hurt.
Pro Bowler.
And it was very durable. Yeah.
Made a 2-time Pro Bowler. Yep. Y'all, that's because y'all coaches are better than the coaches in Detroit. That's like Don Clickbait Burr. I said it. He's probably gone now. Y'all got better
But you know
coaches.
what? I think that regime has
And
changed so much since then.
Kudos to you, Rombo.
For what?
Block. Who did you block? Who did you block tonight?
You know, Chris Hansen, but I think that was a mistake because I don't see him anymore, and I'm not sure. You know, if you block one Chris Hansen, does the system recognize that name, or how does that work?
I have no idea.
Because,
like I said, I'm confused by him because he couldn't have just switched teams like that and went rogue.
Chris, that's not Chris. It's Young Montana.
No, it's heavy. Yeah. And he got his information or something. I don't know. But
because Chris said something about Young Montana that wasn't favorable.
You blocked that tried trombone is what I call him, guy.
You know,
kudos to you, Ronbo.
I've never liked him. I was just trying to be fair about it. I'm waiting for him to cross the line, and he finally did. Jim Evers says that's a great.
Pick on women.
Was the real Chris Hansen?
I refuse to believe that he is. I refuse to believe that.
Chris came. Well, I did it to him the other day. So when Chris comes back Thursday, I hope he does. I got to ask him, did I block him or not? Because I'd be shocked. Because since when does Chris Hansen say things like, yeah, Young Montana and blah, 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 nothing but good stuff? Because he said something earlier bad about Young Montana, and he's never said anything good about the tribe. That's what I said. And he says, yeah, the Rams own us. Oh, that is not Chris. The Rams own us?
Niner fan, the nicest guy. We've always vibed. And,
no, I like him too. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get the imposter.
Yeah. But Ronbo, what about cornerbacks? Are you still thinking about corners? I know you heard about that kid from Iowa, which I love, that Cooper DeJean. He's also can return punts and kickoffs.
Wait.
He broke his fibula late in the year, but he's 100% now, Ronbo.
Okay.
Fibula, he's healed now.
Maybe
that kid can cover.
Seems like I saw that name. Well, maybe that was that in Tony's draft?
Iowa.
Okay. I don't see it. I don't see it in shows.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yep. He's going to go in the first round. Not early in the first round, but he's going to be a first round pick.
Hey.
The tape I've seen on that kid, I like what I see.
Cornerbacks always in the first round, always. And every now and then you see one slip that's good in the second round. But I remember that year the Jets cleaned up, the Broncos cleaned up. They got those guys so early in the draft. There was no way that anybody late in the draft was going to get those players. Man, especially what's his name over in
because I wanted
Jets.
one of them, Patrick Surtain. I wanted him.
Surtain.
I was happy.
Denver.
Yeah, we didn't get him, but I was happy because Cowboy fans got pissed off because they wanted him. And Denver swiped them 2 picks before the Cowboys. So I was happy about that.
Yeah. Well, Tony, we're going to have to pull up, though. Listen, I'm going to tell you what, I'll see you Thursday after the draft, and let's talk some more football.
Sir.
All right. Good luck.
Hey,
Good luck
Mark,
to the Atlanta Falcons efforts. I'm sorry, say again?
Yes, sir. I appreciate the mocks, and
all right.
I'll see you Thursday night, sir.
Right, you're so welcome. Appreciate you, Tony. Looking forward to
Night
it.
of Empire, hit the likes for Ronbo. Please hit the likes.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tony. Have a great night.
All right, Ronbo, the best in the business, brother. Appreciate you, and I'll see you draft night.
Appreciate you, Tony. Thank you so much. All right.
Take care.
You too. Yeah, Chris, I'm real worried about that. You banned the wrong Chris Hansen. How do you get the right one? But I can't see Chris Hansen saying all those great things about the young Montana. He earlier said something not so favorable about him. And then all of a sudden they're buddy. I don't see that. There's really the only reason I got him is just, yeah, the Rams owned us. Chris would never say that. There's no way. Anyway, I'll wait till he'll come back. He came back. I banned him twice, and he came back. So I guess he knows what's going on. Because there's more than just him. There is somebody else using his name. Rumia, you know what? I've blocked at least 4 or 5 Rumias. I don't know what's going on with that. Again, it's got to be the same guy. Can you imagine spending all your life being a jerk? All your extra time, come up with these. I got 12, 13 accounts. Let's go over and bother Ronbo Sports and get those guys in the chat and piss them off. Can you imagine you get a rush out of pissing people off? And he used to claim to be a 49er fan. And I knew he wasn't. Because all he talked about was one player. Hell, everybody else could go to hell. But one player, it's all he was there for. There's nobody like that. I like players. I've loved certain players. But if they were to leave or something happened to them, I'm not going with them. And I'm certainly not going to get mad at everybody else for supporting them. So, it's really strange. Anyway, fam, Thursday, after the draft, we'll sit up, we'll say things like, did you know we was going to do that? Or, oh, man, I don't know why. We got another kicker in the first round. Can you imagine? I'm just joking. There's no way we're getting a kicker in the first round. And that would be the first time in history somebody got a kicker in the first round. And we don't need a kicker. But if we can get an offensive line. Oh, man. All right, fam. I'll see you Thursday night. Thanks for the contributions, fam. Mr. Block Ice, happy birthday. 49er Brian. All right, guys. See you Thursday. Keep them fingers crossed. We got to get the right thing. We got to get it. We got to get it. Let's go draft. Oh.